You said that you love winning. What drives you more, the love of winning or the hate of losing?
Maybe equally, maybe both. I don't like losing, and I do like winning.
Say his name and he appears.
This is a friendship that'll never ever end.
Greetings and welcome to Winning 2024. How's everybody doing this evening? Hope you're all doing and living well. Welcome to the show. First, let me thank all of my YouTube subscribers scrolling down there at the bottom of the screen. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. And a special thanks to Shelly and Wolf for supporting us over on Rumble. We are, of course, broadcasting live on YouTube, Rumble, and X. And away we go. Let me thank my crowd here coming on in. Wolfram, what's up, my friend? How you doing? Thank you for dropping these links. Remember, when you're here, always listen to the Wolf. He knows what he's talking about. He wipes his paws, lips in the house, and the Alpha Mod is here. Heidi, how you doing? Thank you so much. Great to see you. Great to see you guys a little bit earlier tonight. But, well, you know, it's a Wednesday edition. We don't do Wednesday editions too often. But, of course, as I said last night, I am going to be busy tomorrow night, and I won't be able to do an evening show. Though I was thinking about rebroadcasting the big congressional hearing today. You know, it's really funny how whenever something's going on, the UFOs start coming out of the woodwork, and everybody's real convinced about this stuff, and they're putting out compelling cases, and who knows what we're gonna find out. Crown Target, how's it going, my friend? Good to see you. Good to see you. You know, I don't know. I keep an open mind about it. I hear all the whole, like, you know, all the debates about, like, well, you know, it's a big universe out there, and I'm sure there's life somewhere, but doesn't mean it's necessarily like found us here in our little corner of the universe. I still think it's all advanced tech. I don't know. It's just, what do you guys think? Jacob, how's it going, my friend? We're good on Rumble tonight. I think we're good. I think we made it. I did put the last night's stream up as a video on Rumble just for I don't know, just in case anybody over there wanted to watch it and happened to miss it, and also, you know, just for I don't know, just completionary kind of organizational sake to say it was there. I don't know. It was supposed to be there, right? So I made sure it was there. But you know, the UFO thing, it's so convenient how they pop out. And, you know, as I'm seeing this today, I'm like, oh wow, they may disclose something. It sounded like the same old shit. It really did. I didn't find anything worthwhile that we haven't heard before coming out of that whole thing again. You know, other than people saying, well, it's not any of our allies, our enemies or allies stuff. It's not, you know, well, but where is it? I mean, roll it on in, right? But meanwhile, as that's going on, nobody's got their eye on something Crown Target and I are keeping an eye on here. And that is what's going on with the fortification of elections and the Senate seats. We're going to get to that later in the show, but we're seeing some recurring and old patterns coming back. And I think that you know, it seems like whenever something comes up, the UFOs come out, and I just don't trust it. We've been talking for ages. They never pull anything out. They never show us anything. They never, you know, until I see it, I'm not going to believe it. And like I said before, I'm listening to Elon Musk on this one. He has the most satellites of anybody up there. He's been in space. His world is outer space, man. He's all about it. You think he would have seen something by now, right? But these things always seem to appear on Earth. And then, you know, so they don't come from outer space. They're here on Earth. Now we got to talk about, well, you know, some people that are more religious may think that they're you know, divine creatures or something, you know, and Other people may think they're coming through trying, the people come up with a way to make it work. And I'm just going to stay. I won't see it until I believe it or until Elon tells me it's out there. I know, because I think that he was pretty much dead honest about it, in his own way. He was like, listen, I'm looking at space constantly. I've never seen one thing. Don't you think I would have seen one thing by now? But these guys get up there today and they're talking and they're saying, underwater and all this other stuff. And, I did that stream a while back with Kaiser Pineapple, who I haven't seen in ages now, but he came over and he was all big trying to report on the UFO stuff at that time. And I pretty much went through each one of those clips and said, just, what didn't make sense about it and why they always seem to be the same and why they always military drills when we see them, they see them suddenly appear. I still think that we can't underestimate the still existing deep state, and there's still existing plans to distract us and pull us away from what they're really doing. Call me paranoid, but I just, I'm my mind is open, but I'm just not convinced. How about that? See, Heidi says, I think it's advanced technology, not really the populace. I do too. Yep. Has secret ballots happened yet? Yes, they have. And we're not going to get to that later on. And it wasn't the guy that we hoped might win the secret ballot that won. It was somebody else. And I'm just like, we're going to talk about that. And we're going to go back and we're going to recall some things that we've learned along the way this year, some things that we brought up, including like how the deep state's plans for 2024 were supposed to roll out, including what, I'm going to bring up a few old documentaries of just clips of them that we've covered that I'm constantly mentioning here. So I figured I might as well bring them back out and go ahead and put them back out there so we can rewatch them for a little bit. But the old F curve is back, and you see that on the thumbnail. The F curve, the fraud curve, is back, and we're seeing it in Pennsylvania right now. We're seeing maybe that's what happened. I think that's what happened in Nevada. Wisconsin shows evidence of the F curve, but in the Senate races, you see, they want to try to get that Senate back. They want to try to obstruct Trump. And that's what we're going to break down later in the show tonight. We're going to go back and recall those events. And we're going to put the puzzle back together and show that, hey, you know what? This is what we talked about after the election. We're going to have to keep our eyes on what's going down up until Inauguration Day and beyond, because they're still going to be trying to hold on to their power. Their whole plot, if Trump got elected, was to make him run through thick mud, to obstruct him, to delay him, to delay his cabinet picks. We're going to talk about cabinet picks tonight. I got a nice rundown of cabinet picks. Some of them are awesome. Some of them are some of the ones we've been waiting for, and some of them are kind of a little bit questionable, but I'll talk about that when we get to it as well. But we're going to take a good look at our new cabinet as it's developing. And, these are nominations. They have to make it through. Is it who's going to stand up and try to get in the way this time? We know the Democrats are going to say no to everything, but if we have a majority in the House and the Senate, can they stop us? Right? Scott, what's up? How you doing? Just another way to spread fear. Leftists love exploiting fear. Yes, they do. People tend not to question anything when they're afraid. That's right. Live in fear. Stay on defense. That's right. That is exactly right, Scott. You have not seen my Veils of Perception board yet, I don't believe. I'll have to whip that out for you at some point and show you how that works. Because I've charted that out and how the fear narrative keeps people on defense. And there's no solutions in the world of fear, is there? They always say, fear this, fear that. I'm scared of this. I'm scared of that. But they never say, well, here's how I'm going to fix it. And that's what solution culture is about. That's what we do here, right? As we move closer and closer to more of that coming up, more of launching of actual solution culture, we had to secure our government first. And I think we're on the way to doing that. We still have some ways to go on that. We still have some ways to go, but we're in the process, which is a good feeling. Yeah, it's a good feeling. Fear conquers with faith. Ellie, how you doing? Good to see you. Yes, we're going to go over the current cabinet picks. Indeed, we will. Wolfram, of course, it wasn't the one we wanted, right? Yeah. It wasn't. Of course, it wasn't. Of course, that's why they did it in secret, right? And that's why old neocon Mitch on his last legs, breathing his last corrupt breaths on this earth day by day, he had to do his little shenanigans. I don't know how that guy keeps getting elected. He's done after this, and term limits will, if we don't beat him at the polls, and the term limits will get him. So let's do that one way or another. We will get that old mummy out and put him out to pasture. He needs to go. Get on out. Get on to getting, Mitch. Let's go. Yeah, I'm talking about the DC Swamp Senate battle to replace Mitch McConnell in a secret ballot. I hope they do. What, you got something for me on that? I've been looking around today. I hope they do replace Mitch McConnell in the secret ballot. I'd like to take a closer look at that. I didn't come across any kind of something that jumped out to me on that. But if that's going down, I'm happy to talk about it and report on it and hear about it. Heidi, are you in my Discord? A lot of folks that have breaking news and things they want me to cover, DM me in Discord. If you're in there, right? I think I saw you join the other day. Make sure that you DM me and friend me in Discord so you can send me DMs. And anything that you come up with, just feel free to send it to me. Send it to me as much as you want. A lot of people do that. Crown Target's really cool about that. Wolf Room, and of course, Shelly, who I think is sound asleep right now. I've been trying to get her on the horn, and she didn't do the promo, so I think she didn't sleep much last night, and she's getting some much needed rest. So let's all keep her on our thoughts for some nice, beautiful rest for our beautiful Shelly, and I'm sure she'll pop in here in a little bit and say hello if she wakes up in time. So yeah, the secret ballot crap has got to go. That's right, Ellie. It does have to go. And I'm tired of it, man. We're all grown-ups here, right? We can handle it. The secret, it's just more of the corruption. And as we get the corruption out, I think we'll see less and less of that bullshit going on. Then we just got to hang on to it, right? We have to hang on to it. Trump tricks aren't going to be perfect. He has to make both the voters and the donors happy at the same time. Who donates to Trump? Besides Elon, I don't know. That's the thing I like about Trump is he's not beholden to any outside forces. That's why I want, for the time being, until we get things going, make a couple runs here, I want people leading us that are not beholden to donors, that can run their own campaigns and finance their own campaigns with their own money, like Vivek Ramaswamy. And I like JD Vance, and everybody loves JD Vance. He's an awesome dude, but I wonder about his ability to finance his own campaign. Now, if Trump backs him, that's cool. If Trump says, I'll pay for it all, and Elon says, I'll help, I'm good with that. Okay, that makes me a little bit more relaxed about that. And but I still like Vivek. Plus, Vivek has this, we'll see over time. We got 4 years to worry about that. I ain't gonna think about it right now, but that's been my whole reason for picking Vivek over JD in terms of who's going to be next, right? Because I saw the power of Trump's ability to do that in comparison to Ron Paul, who didn't have any money and we needed to constantly do these money bombs for him to help finance this campaign. And he couldn't compete with the neocon GOP at the time, right? He couldn't compete. And that evidently hurt him in the long run, because not enough people knew about the greatness of Ron Paul. And so, after that, I realized that was a key ingredient right now at this time and this point in history. A key ingredient is the fact that someone can finance their own campaign, and they don't have to be worried about anybody else, and they're not on the hook to anybody else. Then you flip that around on Kamala Harris, who is $20 million in debt and got all her money from all the mega donor class, Soros, and even the Koch. The Koch brothers. Remember, Bernie Sanders hates the Koch brothers, and of course they knew they were backing Kamala, and a bunch of other big mega donors, Bill Gates, all these other people, man. So, and then what does she do? She turns around and gives it to other millionaires and talks about trying to help the people out, but she turns around and gives all her money to millionaire celebrities, right? More about that later too. I think we have some stuff on that, but man, they this corrupt, can't stand it. So glad it's going out the door. Aren't you guys? I'm happy that Trump is picking younger people to take over. It's time for the boomers to retire already and let Gen X take over. That's right. Exactly. It's our turn. It's our turn to lead, and we are not going to, hopefully not going to make the same mistakes that were made in the past. We're here to set it straight, man. We are the anti-establishment generation for sure, and that establishment is corrupt. It might even be, Wolfman says, argued that the secret ballot was done before the new Senate was seated, therefore illegitimate. Yeah, I like that idea. I like that idea. Discord won't let me. What? What do you mean it won't let you message me? What are you talking about, Discord? Well, I'll message you. How about that? I'll find a way to message you. I don't know why that would be the case. Let's see. Heidi. Where'd you hide? Diddly 76. Let's see. Where are you at? That's you right there, right? Let's see. Over here, add his friend. So hopefully that helps. Hopefully that helps. All right. So added you as a friend. That should help. Still looking out for our dear Mimsy. If anybody knows where she's at or what she's doing, or if you're listening, Mimsy, we love you. We hope you're okay. And just shoot me a thumbs up or something. Let me know that you're all right if you're out there. I hope that we find her to be well and on her way back. Oprah is denying Harris payments with receipts showing Harpo took. Yeah, she's saying she didn't get anything, but her company did. Well, always with the wordplay, of these corrupt individuals. Soros needs to be deported to be to a secluded island for all the things he's done. Yeah, him and his son, and all of their money taken and given back to all the countries and all the people they've hurt. Yeah, we could literally just seize his assets and pay off the debt. Simple Prepper, how you doing? Hi, everyone. Sorry I'm late. I'll be on and off here. Got dinner going. Yeah, me too. And digital sermon tapes for my parents' church. Awesome, brother. Awesome. Great to see you. T-Rex Trucking and More is in the house. Turns out the weirdo is Walls and not us. Yeah, that's the truth. That's the truth. Thank God we know that now for sure. By doing it, it removes the rhinos from office. Let's remove the rhinos, man. They need to go. We almost got them all out. We're so close. We're so close. And then they try to throw this curveball at us. It ain't gonna work. But we're gonna talk about that later in the show as we go through our evening here. So I think let me see. I gotta pick between these two videos, or do I? They're both probably the same. We got a lighthearted look. It's about 17 minutes. Let's just do this one. It's a little bit more. I haven't watched this one all the way through yet, but let's just do this one. We're going to talk about, of course, the big news today. What did our president do today? What did he do today? Well, he had a big appointment at the White House to meet with the sitting former vice president Joe Biden. Here we go.
Donald Trump has made his triumphant return to the White House, meeting with Joe Biden, shaking hands. Welcome back, they say. Of course, Trump was there to meet his biggest supporter, Joe Biden himself. I'm kidding. But everybody thinks that Joe Biden voted for Donald Trump. Jill Biden showed up to her polling location wearing all red with a smile on her face. I think the Bidens were really salty about being knocked out.
Oh, yeah.
So they're probably going to be supporting Donald Trump, but we'll see. They're smiling, they're shaking hands, and it feels good. It really does. I'm not a fan of the Bidens. I don't trust the Bidens. I think everybody in the White House, you can criticize everybody because nobody's perfect, but I am glad to see Donald Trump is finally coming back in. And in other news, Rick Scott loses. Senate Majority Lead will go to Senator Thune. Is that how you pronounce his name? And everybody's pissed. They're basically saying the deep state is going to obstruct Donald Trump. He is not going to be able to get done the Trump agenda because the Senate is going to block him in every way. Well, it's sad news, my friends. I don't know if I care all that much because I don't think any of the people running were particularly good. You want to talk about who should be the leadership? Rand Paul. Sure, that's never going to happen. But I'll tell you, back in 2016, Donald Trump wins. He gets the House, he gets the Senate, and everybody said, this is it, Democrats are done. Hillary Clinton was deeply unpopular.
Yep.
And it wasn't so much the case. The neocons, the rhinos, as people like to call them, in the machine, agreed with this Russia collusion investigation against Donald Trump. They worked together to obstruct Donald Trump.
They did.
So now, I don't know if I could expect any more than this. I think it'll be better because Trump has pushed back substantially, but we'll see. Let's start with this. Thune wins secret ballot to become new Senate GOP leader, succeeding McConnell. The new leader will succeed McConnell, the longest-serving party leader, the longest-serving party leader in the Senate. They say.
Yeah, how's this guy? The guy comes out of nowhere. No one's ever heard of this dude. I mean, not us, not the MAGA folks. We haven't heard of this guy. He hasn't been out there. He didn't support Trump, and suddenly this guy's going to be in charge of his Senate. I bet we can get rid of this guy, right?
So right now, as I'm recording this, we're awaiting remarks from the Republicans. Senate Minority Whip John Thune.
We're gonna cover this later. Let me see. Is that all we got about the is that all you're gonna say about the visit? Let's see. Is there more to say about the visit? I guess he's just gonna run through this real quick. Let's get his take.
Thune will be the new Republican Senate leader and the majority leader for the upper chamber of Congress.
Great.
In January, he will succeed Mitch McConnell. Sources told Fox News that no candidate reached the majority during the first secret ballot. In the old Senate chamber, Senator Rick Scott received the least amount of votes and was knocked out of the race. The second secret ballot was between only Thune and Cornyn. Thune received 29 to Cornyn's 24 on the second ballot, according to Thune's office. I just want to say, the people have spoken. And over on X, Elon Musk ran a poll. Who should be the Senate majority leader? With 1,088,220.
1 million people speaking votes right there.
22 votes. Scott got 66%. Now, I'm not convinced he's the right choice. I'm not convinced any of them are the right choice, because if it were up to me, I'd say Rand Paul.
My friend.
Okay, but fine. The people wanted Rick Scott, so I'd say Rand Paul.
Yes,
okay?
I think Rand Paul should be it too. That's a great position for him to be in. We need Rand in with us, right? We need Rand in with us. So why not let Rand Paul do it, man? Let's go. I mean, I've been waiting for him to get elevated in some way, shape, or form for years now. I mean, he's definitely constitutionally based, right? He does good work. He took on Fauci. Let's go, man. The guy deserves a bump. Let's bump him on up.
Okay, but fine. The people wanted Rick Scott. So the Republicans, I was going to almost call them Democrats, decided to hold a secret ballot. Yep. That way, nobody would be able to hold it against them when they
wouldn't these guys get nominated? Who nominated these guys?
Violated the will of the people. Ted Cruz, a handful of others, I think Marsha Blackburn, said that they would be endorsing Rick Scott. But because it's a secret ballot, we don't know how many of them actually told the truth. I think it's fair to say a lot of them probably did. But most of the senators just, they don't care. They do not want a Trump agenda. The Hodge twins tweeted, "We need names. Yes, then we need people ready to step up and run against these clowns in every state. We can."
Yeah, we should. In my opinion, I think we need to go back to the original way senators were picked for office. Wouldn't they? They're picked by the governor. Is that how it was done before? I'm so mad at the liberal media, MSM, and Independent simply saying Trump chose a Fox News host as a secretary of DOD. So he's so much more than that. Yeah, he is very much more than that. I got some stuff on him tonight as well.
You can raise all kinds of money for patriots who aren't deep state rhinos. Okay, let's try this. Let's look up. I'm going to pull up 270 to win, and we're going to take a look. We're going to take a look at the Senate over at 270 win.
Gowdy kind of like turncoded a little bit there towards the end. I like Trey. He's a hammer, but I felt like he kind of turncoded a little bit there towards the end. So he kind of I think he kind of fell out of the circle of trust, if you will.
So West Virginia, Justice won, so we got a senator there. That's good. But I am not going to forget, my friends, that we still have Shelley Moore Capito, who is, let me pull up Ballotpedia. I'm not going to forget when she backed red flag laws. And I will, we're going to make sure that we primary these people. They cannot be allowed to remain in office. Shelley Moore Capito, I believe she is the aunt of Riley Moore. And Riley I like. Riley's great. He's a good friend.
I do too.
But, and I criticize Shelley to him. And it's tough. I mean, it's family. I don't want to be a dick. But she is, I believe she's up in, 2026? When's the...
All right.
2026. At this time, Ballotpedia, let's see, the United States Senate election. So she's going to be up November 3rd, 2026. And they say that the
2026
already have people running. Derek Evans, Alexander Gasserod. I am going to make sure that my full weight is against Shelley Moore Capito, because I will not forget when she backed red flag laws and then lied about it. Not interested. Yep. So let's take a look over at the old Senate interactive map and see where we are. This was 2024. They don't want to call PA just yet, but come on. PA has been called. I say,
we're going to cover that
unless
a little bit.
They publicly endorsed that they were voting for Rick Scott, we primary all of them. So I agree with Hodgwins. Now, I want
There
to
you go.
preface this by saying,
That's one way to do it,
I don't know
right?
that I care, about whether one rhino or another is going to be the one leading the charge. If it were up to me, it'd be Rand Paul, like I said 3 times now. But if most of the people who are leading the charge to get Trump elected and help these Republicans win have now defied what the people have been asking for, okay, well, let's make sure in South Dakota, where Thune is, I don't believe he's up until 2028, and that's probably why they did it. But I just think we're going to go ahead and make sure that in the midterms, anybody
they can muscle people out of those positions. They can muscle them out.
Up for re-election, who did not publicly endorse what the people were asking for, will be primaried. Maybe they'll win, but I'm fairly confident we can primary them and knock them out of these races. This is the podcast presidency.
The reason why I think,
and
and we're going to talk about this in a little bit, why they haven't called PA, man. And there's, Nevada, questionable. Wisconsin, very questionable. There's some races here that we probably should have won. That and Arizona, I know we talked about that last night. Unpopular candidate, could have been the case. But I'm going to show you what we're going to look for.
More and more, the shows that we host here, that you watch, have congratulated the president-elect and said, welcome back. Trump wore a red tie. How beautiful. This one warms my heart. Donald Trump thanked Biden for ensuring a smooth transition, said politics is tough. Biden congratulated the president-elect and said, welcome back. Trump wore a red tie. How beautiful. Quote, well, Mr. President-elect Donald, congratulations. I look forward to having a smooth transition. Politics is tough. In many cases, it's not a nice world, but it was a nice world today. Trump said of the process, it will be as smooth as it can get. And I very much appreciate that, Joe. Melania Trump was not there. Jill Biden did join Joe in greeting Trump upon his arrival. She gave the president-elect a handwritten letter of congratulations from.
That must have been, that has to be so awkward. You have to do it. But at the same time, you're like, oh, this guy, what he did to my beautiful country.
Melania, which also expressed her team's readiness to assist with the transition. The East
I kind of
look at this beautiful photo. That guy, Joe Biden, is glowing. He is so happy. Well, good for you, Joe, I guess. Good for you. Look at that handshake. I think Joe Biden was sabotaging Kamala. I think he's saying to these Democrats, you know what? You kicked me out. So be it. You don't get me. They say no Trump staff or allies were sent in the Oval Office. Tesla CEO Elon Musk and others staffers accompanied Trump to D.C. and to his early meetings in the Capitol. For Trump, who has been busy this week naming top cabinet and West Wing picks, it was a grand return to the place from which he was vanquished 4 years ago. Ahead of his meeting with Biden, Trump addressed House Republicans on Capitol Hill. He flew to D.C. from Palm Beach, landing at Andrews Air Force Base. Isn't it nice to win? He told his party members, great applause, it's nice to win. Trump also hinted he'd be available for a third term, saying, I suspect I won't be running again unless you say he's so good, we got to figure something else out. We got to figure something else out, he said. Everyone laughed, and Democrats are going to take that, and they're going to start bashing their face on the table, screaming, being like, Trump's going to be president for life. Trump endorsed Mike Johnson. I just want to thank everybody, he said. You've been incredible. We worked a lot with you. So, okay. He said, we created 16 million new jobs, brand new jobs that took office, the most in any single presidential term. Not on my watch. My administration buys American, he says. No more exporting from overseas. Or I said, like I said so much, was exported overseas. So now it's about exporting and investing in America. Glad to hear it, man. These photos are pretty heartwarming. A lot of people, look at that smirk he's got. He's coming in. Joe Biden stepping out. FDR, Hamilton, Jefferson, Lincoln.
He's looking around going, yeah, we got to get rid of that. I got to get this guy on the phone to fix this. We got to get that old man smell out of here.
Look at all these people in these photos. That's it. It's a heartwarming moment. I hope it's as calm as it is. Because a lot of people are saying.
Off you went. So that was Trump's big day. Went to go see Biden. Got a fresh bottle of hand sanitizer to put it in his pocket. Went in there. So yeah, that was his big day here. And so there we go on that. That's what Trump was up to today. Besides that, putting out tons and tons and tons of, this work. Tons and tons and tons of cabinet picks. And that's what we're going to next. It's cabinet watch time, y'all. Let me see. How will this work? This will work good, I think. Yeah. All right. So I think we covered a good amount of these last night, but I added them all to a folder. So I may be scrolling through a few that we saw. We won't go into reading them all because we read through a lot of them, but I will highlight them. First and foremost, let's say hello back over to the crowd here. There are many Democrats who left the top of the ballot blank because they did not like that Kamala did not go through a primary process, but did vote down ballot for Senate. And really, that's the first I've heard about that. That is the first I've heard about that. Um, uh, I've seen polls that say as much. Have you? Have you now? Have you? Where are these polls? Yes, Lake lost a huge Republican turnout, which almost never happens. You know, there is that lingering neocon presence, and we did see her saying, Liz Cheney, Republicans get out, and that was the wrong thing to say. And it kind of put I know that was a soundbite, so I keep that in mind. And I would think that, hey, regardless of what somebody may have been, slighted by, they probably still would be like, Trump needs a Senate, right? Trump needs a Senate. But I don't know. We'll see how investigations turn out with that. I would say investigate it, see if you can get anything, and then let it go. But if you can get something, then let's work with that. Maybe we uncover a big cheating ring, and that's a great thing, right? So that is what could come out of it. Right after Cabinet Watch, we're going to get into promises, and then we'll get the last part of the show is going to be about the F curves that we're seeing around in the Senate races. And we want to go into that in more detail. So I'll let that towards the end. One thing I wanted to say about also is coming up is you saw it in the headlines here on the of the video. Trump's plan for homeschoolers. Trump's plan. He wanted to do this last time. He didn't get a chance to do it. And then it got all screwed up. But yeah, a big relief for people like myself and others that are out there in the crowd that homeschool, do online school, whatever it is. We're getting ready to be on equal ground with everybody else, because our tax money has been paying for public schools, corrupt, subversive public schools forever, and we choose not to engage with them. And we don't get that money back. We're just paying for the corrupt other kids instead of our own, and then we're paying to educate our kids away from that corruption. So good news coming up really soon on that. Let me go ahead and bring up our Cabinet Watch, y'all, and then we can go over just to X on this for now. Do I have anything else after that? Yeah, I think it's just X, man. Wow, coming a long ways here. Okay, like I said, I think we're good on here. Bring it on up. All right, let's see. I get down here in the corner. That might help. This would be nice if I can get rid of this while I'm doing it. But anyways, let's start out with this. Whoa, that's small. That's even small. That's yeah. All right. Wow, that's interesting how it does that. Let me see here. All right. As the 45th and 47th president of the United States, I am pleased to announce that the highly respected former Congressman in New York, we covered Lee Zeldin last night, is appointed as the administrator of the United States EPA. Yeah. Okay. So we covered that last night. I've known Lee Zeldin for a long time, and I've watched him handle brilliantly some extremely difficult and complex situations. I'm very proud to have him on. So that's what it is. He will ensure fair and swift deregulation decisions that will be enacted in a way that unleashes the power of American businesses, while at the same time maintaining the highest environmental standards, including the cleanest air and water on the planet. He will set new standards in environmental review and maintenance that will allow the United States to grow a healthy and well-structured way. Grow in a healthy and well-structured way. So there you go. That's the Lee Zeldin part of it. Is there more to that? Okay, so that's the first one. Like I said, I just went through and grabbed a lot of these. Where's the one with the with everybody's name on it? Did I scroll out of that? Nope. Okay, it's down here a little bit further, I guess. All right, Lee Stefanik, we covered that. U.S. and UN ambassador we need to stop being the UN. We covered Huckabee last night. Matt Walls, National Security Advisor. Let's see here. Oh my God, stop it! Is that my fault? Am I doing that? Nope, it's really that long. Okay. All right, so we'll just highlight it here. Matt Walls, I hereby appointed to serve in my cabinet as National Security Advisor. Matt is the first Green Beret to have been elected to Congress. To celebrate that, and previously served in the White House and Pentagon. Mike served as the Army Special Forces for 27 years, where he was deployed multiple times in combat for which he was awarded the 4 Bronze Stars, real warrior right there, including 2 with valor. Mike retired as a colonel and is nationally recognized leader in the national security, a best-selling author, and an expert on threats posed by China, Russia, and Iran, and global terrorism. He served as a senior member of the House Armed Services Committee, the House Foreign Affairs Committee, and the House Permanent Select Committee on Intelligence. Mike is a distinguished graduate with honors from VMI, Virginia Military Institute. Mike is a strong champion of my America First foreign policy agenda and will be a tremendous champion for our pursuit of peace through strength. I feel like we did this last night. All right. Anyways, recap there. We did the Kristi Noem one. All right. We did the Joseph McGinley. We covered that last night. Like I said, okay, this is Stephen. Okay, I'm pleased to announce that I've appointed Stephen Witkoff to be special envoy to the Middle East. We covered that one. All right. Pete, this guy's awesome. I'm honored to announce that I have nominated Pete Hegseth to serve in my cabinet as a Secretary of Defense. I'm pretty sure we covered this one last night, but he spent his entire life as a warrior for the troops. I got some interview stuff on him, so we'll let him just talk about it in his own words coming up. Statement, John Ratcliffe, we did that one last night. Okay, cool. So I'm starting to catch up here. We did Vivek, we did Elon. So this recapping, 2 awesome dudes are gonna help get this spending under control and just cut a lot of it out. Cut out the waste. Get the waste out of here. Get it. Okay, this is one I didn't see. And so I know I didn't cover this, but President Trump announces White House senior staff. Mar-a-Lago, Florida today, President of the United States, Donald J. Trump, announced 4 top advisors from his historic presidential campaign will serve in the White House as senior staff. Dan Scavino will return to the White House as an assistant to the president and deputy chief of staff. Scavino was a Trump campaign senior advisor and remains one of President Trump's longest serving and most trusted aides. Right on. Stephen Miller, not to be confused with the Stephen Miller Band, will return to the White House as assistant to the president and deputy chief of staff for policy and homeland security advisor. Miller was a Trump campaign senior advisor and previously served in the Trump White House as senior advisor to the president for policy. James Blair will serve as assistant to the president and deputy chief of staff for legislative, political, and public affairs. Blair was the Trump campaign and Republican National Committee political director, managing hundreds of staff and overseeing a wide portfolio of political operations and programming and programs. Taylor Budowich, all right, will serve as assistant to the president and deputy chief of staff for communications and personnel. Prior to joining the Trump campaign, Budowich served in a senior role in President Trump's leadership PAC, Save America, and as CEO of the pro-Trump super PAC, MAGA Inc. Dan, Stephen, James, and Taylor were best-in-class advisors on my winning campaign, and I know they will honorably serve the American people in the White House, said President Trump. They will continue to work hard to make America great again in their respective new roles. Awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. All right, here's the one that I don't know. This is the wait and see one. All right. So he just basically says he's nominating Marco Rubio as the United States Secretary of State. Marco is a highly respected leader and a very powerful voice for freedom. He will be a strong advocate for our nation, a true friend to our allies, and a fearless warrior who will never back down to our adversaries. I look forward to working with Marco to make America great again and the world safe again. Yes, world safe and great again. Yeah, there we go. So a little bit of background on him. There we go. So yeah, there you have it. But Tulsi Gabbard, y'all. Tulsi Gabbard. Sorry, I've got my screen here full. Let me go ahead and look at some comments real quick because I had to full screen it for a second. Homeschool for the win. Coming up. Good news. We're gonna listen to a video on Trump about that. Let's see. Open anything about this? Better choice, perhaps. In booty. Which booty judge? No, not that one. No. I almost clarified that. I'd like Dan Bongino. It is for Secret Service head. Okay. Has Trump said? I was, Bongino and his coverage of July 13th. I was not a fan of. I gotta be honest with that. He was very jumping the shark, jumping the gun, and we covered that whole thing very tightly. Like we did some very, very clinical analysis on that, and we took it very, very one step at a time. And I think that he was just, I think maybe it was maybe wording. I have no idea, but I just didn't like his coverage on that. Should they have had more people out there? Yes. Was he getting the shaft on resources? Yes. But I think the first day we said it was going to be coming down to a communication breakdown. It did in the end. That's what we found out. People said they stood down. They didn't. They just didn't understand. They never took the time to watch the body cam footage or look at really detailed analysis like Jeff Alstruff offered, which we featured here, weekly, like every episode for a long time. We were looking at more and more body cam footage and piecing together the timeline. And at the end of the day, there wasn't enough time for them to stand down. I mean, that's what we came. That's the conclusion. There wasn't enough time to even think about standing down. Literally, Hercules 2, south facing, turned around, got him in the scope, and took him down. That's what it was. And in terms of any kind of stand downs, that was just ridiculous conspiracy grifting, and it was shameful that anybody on our side participated in it. But that's my thoughts on July 13th. If you were here, you knew. If you're here, we pinned it down, I think, better than most people out there that have these huge channels that were just jumping the gun and getting clicks and views for it. And it was kind of annoying, honestly. But anyways, Bongino, sure, he has it. And I would totally give him a chance. Like I'm going to give everybody a chance that comes into this administration. Trusting our leader to make the right decision is part of putting your faith in the leader, right? You say, hey, you got a chance. We believed in you. We're gonna give you a chance to execute the will of the people, and we'll go from there. That's the best you can do, right? What else can you do? What else can you do on that? I hope Jack Pozo gets in the administration some ways. I don't know. Jack Posobiec, maybe. What would he do? What would he do? He's a journalist, so there's only one position for journalism, really. I don't know. Maybe there's more than one, but there's one public position. That's the press secretary, right? Which I don't think anybody's been chosen for yet. As Trump said, he's going to bring back Ivanka and Jared Kushner. I say absolutely, probably not. Have you seen them during any of his run? I have not seen them at all. In fact, I don't think I've seen Ivanka speak one time at all. And she did a lot in 2016, and Jared either. Neither one of them. I think they've gone ahead and sailed off into the sunset, and they're just enjoying the good life. And good for them. Good for them. It's good to come back and maybe put a new team together too, and elevate some other folks and get other folks involved that weren't involved last time. I think she's back to running the business, actually. I'm extremely distrustful of every single politician, and I will continue to feel that way about them, including Donald Trump. Well, you do that, T-Rex. You do that. See, there's only so much you can do, right? Trump should call back his former press secretary. Yes. I agree with that. I want her back. She did a great job. She was a hammer. She would not put up with any bullshit from any of those prostitutes that were out there trying to. Kayleigh McEnany. Yes. Bring her back 100%. She was awesome. She didn't put up with any shit. What the hell is that? Did you guys see that? I don't know what that was. Give me a second. I think I got a Wi-Fi connection issue. All right. I'm not on Wi-Fi, by the way, but for some reason there I had a little glitch. Yeah, I went shrinking down in the corner, turned into my logo again, from which I was born. So, what I don't want to see is them sending their bloodhound, their attack dogs into the press conferences again. Like I want to, that last guy, what was his name? I can't even think of him. He's so irrelevant, but he only had one job, and that was to be a dick every time he went in there. You guys know what I'm talking about? We're gonna do this again. All right. Now we're good. I'm talking about what's his name? The guy who snatched them, Trump almost walked down off the podium, and then he gave the mic up. He wouldn't give the mic back to the young intern. What was his name? Useful idiot. Anyways, I don't want to see any more useful idiots in there disrupting things. I want to have a nice, orderly press conference so we can get the information we need. No. It was not him. It was the one in the crowd. It was the CNN guy. Greasy idiot. I don't know what his name is. He's so irrelevant that I can't even think of his name. I'll probably think of it in a couple of minutes. Anyways, let's move along. Let me go ahead and bring this back up. You know who I'm talking about? Yeah, Wolfram gets it. You guys all know. And see, he's so irrelevant that we've all forgotten his name, and that's probably the way it should be. Anyways, let me get back to this. I'm pleased to announce, this is a big one. Everybody's been waiting for this one. I'm pleased to announce that former Congresswoman Lieutenant Colonel Tulsi Gabbard will serve as Director of National Intelligence. For over 2 decades, Tulsi has fought for our country and the freedoms of all Americans. As a former candidate for the Democrat presidential nomination, she has broad support in both parties. She is now a proud Republican. I know Tulsi will bring the fearless spirit that has defined her illustrious career to our intelligence community, championing our constitutional rights and securing peace through strength. Tulsi will make all of us proud. Yes, she will. 4-term Congresswoman, best-selling author, 3 deployments in war zones to the Middle East and Africa for real. Has served in uniform for more than 2 decades. She's a current lieutenant colonel in the U.S. Army Reserves. Guess she's going to be taking a little break from that. And leads her nonprofit organization, We Must Protect. Wow, she was elected to office at 21 years old. Due to the attacks on 9/11, she was enlisted in the Army National Guard in 2004. She gave up an easy re-election campaign and volunteered to deploy to Iraq. Man, she's awesome. How do you not love Tulsi Gabbard? Phenomenal person. What's up next, Mr. President? What you got? Oh, here's another big one. It is my great honor to announce that Congressman Matt Gaetz of Florida is hereby nominated to be the Attorney General of the United States. Matt is a deeply gifted and tenacious attorney trained at the William and Mary College of Law, who has distinguished himself in Congress through his focus on achieving desperately needed reform in the Department of Justice. Yes, bring it on. Few issues in America are more important than ending the partisan weaponization of our justice system. Matt will end weaponized government, protect our borders, dismantle criminal organizations, and restore America's badly shattered faith and confidence in the Justice Department. On the House Judiciary Committee, which performs oversight of the DOJ, Matt played a key role in defeating the Russia collusion hoax and exposing alarming and systematic government corruption and weaponization. He's a champion for the Constitution and the rule of law. Matt will root out systemic corruption in the DOJ and return the department to its true mission of fighting crime and upholding our democracy and Constitution. I'm sorry, I meant to say our republic, our constitutional republic and Constitution. There you go, Ellie. I know you're out there. We must have honesty, integrity, and transparency at the DOJ under Matt's leadership. All Americans will be proud of the Department of Justice once again. Let's go. All right. There we have that. Yeah. Close that. I thought I had added those videos to the end of the cabinet watch, but I guess I didn't. So let me go ahead and pop back up here and figure out what I did with them. But I got some other stuff here to go with this. Let me see this and this. Okay, that's coming up. So guys, what do you think of that? Ronnie, how you doing? Welcome back. How you doing? Good to see you. So many awesome new people here, man. That's a great Great to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you. Tulsi Gabbard has a mission. She was put on a watch list and is bound and determined to figure out why American citizens are being put on terrorist watch lists for no reasons. And now she gets to do it. She was so epic at putting down the activists posing as reporters. Oh yeah, Kelly McEnany. Yes, she was. She was awesome. She was phenomenal. And I bet she'll be even better. Memento Mori, my friend, how are you doing? Good to see you. How's it going today? How's it going? Without a strong, trustworthy Department of Justice, we're sunk. Exactly. Yeah, corruption in the Department of Justice is long overdue for getting straight, because that has just been a mess. It's been an absolute mess, and we need to do something about that. And now we got the guy to do it, Matt Gaetz. He ain't gonna take no mess from anybody. That's the truth. He's gonna get there and do it. I'm excited to see all these people go to work and get it done. Let me make sure. I guess I can get them all bookmarks place here. I did. Well, yeah. There's the cat. There's her. Where's the other one? We're going to go back to Pete. Oh yeah, there's that. Okay. Okay, here we go. Yeah, now I'm on top of it. Okay, here we go. So now we're going to hear from some of these awesome cabinet picks.
After it really hard.
And there are words. Here's Pete Hegseth. This guy, dude. Wow, this guy is going to kick some butt. Listen to this.
There's a chance to course correct it, but it would take a new Trump administration going after it really hard.
How would they correct it?
Well, first of all, you got to fire. You got to fire the chairman of the Joint
Check him out. He's got "We the People" tattooed on his arm.
Chiefs, and you got to fire this. I mean, obviously, you're going to bring in a new Secretary of Defense, but any general that was involved, general, admiral, whatever that was involved in any of the DEI woke shit, has got to go.
Oh yes.
Either you're in for war fighting, and that's it. That's the only litmus test we care about. You got to get DEI and CRT out of military academies, so you're not training young officers to be baptized in this type of thinking. And then, whatever the standards, whatever the combat standards were, say, in, I don't know, 1995, let's just make those the standards. And as far as recruiting, to hire the guy that, did Top Gun Maverick and create some real ads that motivate people to want to serve. And there's lots of other ways in which you could identify who gets promoted and what, but there's an ethos change. I mean, there's a reason people don't want to serve, because they don't trust that their senior leaders are going to have their best interest in mind in combat. I know there were mistakes made on our tours all over the place, but I at least, for the most part, had a sense that my senior leaders were committed to the completion of the mission for the right reasons. And maybe there were strategic differences and all that other stuff, and it wasn't always perfect, but that trust is broken, and you have to reestablish that trust by putting in no-nonsense warfighters in those positions who aren't going to cater to the socially correct garbage.
All right. Freaking awesome, dude, man. I can't wait till that guy gets in there. Making the military great again. This guy is going to get the job done. All right. Let's see. We're going to come back to that. Oh, yeah. This is great. If you guys haven't seen this.
He'll get confirmed by the Senate. He's the Attorney General. Suck it up.
He's the Attorney General. Suck it up. That's Thomas Massey. And I wanted to go up to. I should just come here. All right. Yep. Here's what Tulsi says. She says, "Thank you, Donald Trump, for the opportunity to serve as a member of your cabinet to defend the safety, security, and freedom of the American people. I look forward to getting to work." Yes, she does. Let's listen
to the administration. I think, will you think about going into the administration? I think you are a phenomenal asset in so many ways that I know that people may not know. And I've got to imagine that there is a position in this administration for you. Are you interested?
This is up to President Trump. Obviously, he's
okay. So this is she already got picked. All right, cool. This election result is a mandate. That's November 9th. Okay, so she already got paid. I like what she said here, though. It rejects the neocons' agenda of costly, unnecessary wars and embraces Trump's promise to end wars, prevent global conflicts, revive our economy, and lower the cost of living for Americans. Entrenched politicians in Washington must take notice. Whoa, over here we go. Must take notice, or they may find themselves without a job in the next election. Yes, Tulsi, you get them. You get them. All right. I think that's it. Tulsi will be the Department of National Intelligence. Yes. Pete will be in the Secretary of Defense. And let's see, Tulsi is I got that right, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, Director of National Intelligence. That's what she's going to be doing. That's what she's going to be doing. Pete is the Secretary of Defense. Thank you guys. Thank you guys for jumping in there. I appreciate it. Okay. And then on we go. Let's talk about Doge, y'all. Let's talk about Doge. That's exciting stuff. Let's see. I don't want to do that one first. I want to come back over here, and that's the pledge. That's a pledge. That's a pledge to drain the swamp. All right, let's talk about Doge. Let's talk about let's talk about this dream team. This dream team pick, man. It's exciting stuff. Where we at? We got plenty of time. All right, cool. Let's talk about this dream team pick of Vivek Ramaswamy. We've been so excited to see where Vivek was going to go and what he's going to do. I think this is a great pick. Put two very successful business people together, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy. Go ahead and bring in Ron Paul. Let's go ahead and do that. Let's get that all settled up, locked in, and go. And I hope Ron Paul will still do this job and still be part of it, even though actually, let's see. Even though he has some questions about the Marco Rubio pick, but we'll get to that in a second. All right, so here we go.
Are you ready just to sit there and just be like, oh, yeah? I mean, I think Donald Trump is becoming the greatest president to ever live. If this stuff happens,
I think so too.
I may put him up there with Lincoln and
wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, he's trying to do a lot. If he can accomplish this, heavy lift.
Yeah, heavy lift. But oh my gosh, he speaks my language every night. I'm like, I mean, honey, can you leave us alone? I'm just reading the news of his latest proposal. I need some alone time right now. It is Ramaswamy and Elon Musk. Mm-hmm. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is his latest. Let me see if I can give the actual release first of what he said. Oh, it's just it is so sweet. So he comes out and he says, look, what we're going to have is this Department of Government Efficiency. You know that Musk was involved, Doge. And he says it's going to run until their duty will be over by July 4th, 26, which is the 250th anniversary of America. So we got a lot of work to do until then, but we're going to give back to America the government, give it back to the people. And so what they're talking about doing is finding all of the ways to cut waste. And Ramaswamy has come up with this great idea of how to fire people. Okay, we know the problem is that you just can't fire people because they're going to take you to court every step of the way. Everybody's going to say, you only fired me because I was black or white or whatever I am. I'm handicapped or not handicapped, and you can't fire me. That's all that's going to happen. Then they're going to go to court and say, the president cannot fire all of these people. We're still going to have that one. But how does the Supreme Court rule that the executive is not in charge of all of his employees? Because the executive branch is in charge of the cabinet and all of the cabinet positions and all of the agencies under those cabinet positions.
Typically how organizations work.
Correct.
That's why I'm so nice to you.
Wait,
you have this, this power over my job, so I have to, be incredibly nice to you all the time.
Right. Mm-hmm. So everybody, if you are running a company and you need to reduce the size of the company, you will have companies, they will just cut whole divisions because they don't want any of the lawsuits. It has to be random and it has to be everybody, right? So what Ramaswamy has come up with, and he says this is only a thought exercise, but I think it's brilliant. What he's come up with is we're going to reduce the government by half. And here's what we're going to do. We're going to say everyone who has an odd number at the end of their social security number, you're fired. So now it's just random. Now, this is not the people that are elected. Okay. So if you're elected into that office, you're not fired. But everybody else, because we're reducing the size of the government by half.
Well, I love the idea of reducing the size of the government by half, but like,
what I naysayer. How did we switch roles?
I don't think I'm being a naysayer. I think let me ask you this. Go back to Glenn Beck back in the day for a moment. Rewind your life a tad, and think of yourself with a little patch, a little badge given out by George Washington. What did it say? Do you remember what it said? Merit. Yeah. Merit has nothing to do with a random groups of firing.
No,
you want to fire the employees that suck, not just.
No, I know that. But to be able to get to the place where you have merit, you have to reduce the size of the government first. You have have bloodletting that have to happen. Okay, you have to cut it by half.
You do.
Now there might be some really good people that we lose. Might be. Probably.
Do we need to get Do we need to get Vivek Ramaswamy a infinity gauntlet? He just snaps. Who's gonna make the meme? Who's gonna make the meme with Vivek Ramaswamy as Thanos?
And then you cut it another by half again by saying everyone whose social security number starts with an even number, you're gone. And so you've cut the government by 75%. We can work out. You don't think the people that remain are going to be focused on doing a good job?
Yeah, I mean, I would like. I think though there is just structural limitations that need to occur, right? Like you really do. You're going to need to fire people that are actually pretty good employees. I mean, because of the size of the government and because of the bloat.
You're going to.
So you're going to need to do
apply
that
again.
I just think I would like to lead with the crappy employees.
So would I. But I want to. We have to. I mean, remember, this is exactly what Calvin Coolidge did. He cut the federal workforce by half, and then he cut taxes by half. And when he did that, we got the Roaring 20s. Can you imagine? Because he's also wanting to cut the federal regulations. Anything that hasn't passed by Congress. So all of these, the administrator will decide. All of those rules and regulations, gone. Do you realize how free this country will be all of a sudden overnight? I mean, hello, sexy. I mean, I'm sorry that I find this. I mean, this is conservative porn. This is what we've always wanted. This is that hot girl walking in going, you do have a shot with me. Yeah. Okay.
I mean, it will be fascinating to see if they can pull this off because
if there's anybody that can do it, Elon Musk, Vivek Ramaswamy.
They're both, I would think, especially Elon, because, Vivek has pretty blatantly obvious political aspirations here, right?
Yeah.
He does. Elon doesn't. He's the richest guy in the world. The only thing he cares about is actually doing this job, right? When it comes to this, I don't think he has other motivations.
No, his aspirations are, I want to go to Mars. Can you make that easier for me?
Right.
And
so it will be interesting because he's going to come in and he's going to want to do these things. And he's going to, I'm sure, bump into all sorts of issues he's not used to dealing with at places like Tesla. Because at Tesla, he just legitimately fires the people.
Yeah.
Right. Obviously, there are going to be lots of roadblocks put in his way. Trump, I think, will do everything he can to remove them. But there's a lot of walls there that he's going to have to break through. And I can't wait to see him try to do it.
I know.
It's going to be fascinating.
If you can't shut down the Department of Education, Social Security number lottery happening right now. I mean, think of that. And Donald Trump has said what I've always said I wanted to hear a president say. Real estate prices are going to plunge in the DC metro area. Yeah. He's going to be cutting so many jobs. I mean, this is fantastic.
I hate to just step in the way of your optimism here.
No, why?
I hate it. I hate it because you're so happy. You're like a giddy little kid.
I'm never like this.
You're never
it has
like
been
this.
Since 2005. I've been a pessimist on what's coming. This is the first real shot we have. This is the moonshot. This is the moonshot. Are we going to make it to the moon? I don't know. We might blow up several people in the attempt to get there. But if we stay focused, we'll get there.
I like it. I really do hope it happens. And I mean, I think that I have more optimism than I normally would have on such a thing like this. Like normally I'd be like, okay, they say this all the time. But like, I don't know. It just feels like usually there's something that gets in the way. Like I was thinking about the first Trump term on the border. The second they came out with pretty tough border policies. They said they were going to implement them. Yeah. About, I don't know, a couple of weeks into this, we started getting families are being separated. And then they changed the policy. This is Trump. This is in the Trump era. This is not like some other, Mitch McConnell and this, mysterious Mitch McConnell presidency. This was Donald Trump. And they backed off of it because of all the pressure. Do you think maybe because it's a second term, he's just like, screw this, I'm not dealing with that anymore?
Oh, I think because he was in the first term, he didn't know
what do you guys think here, man?
Yeah.
What do you guys think here? They're kind of just going off on this. I haven't heard much else so far. Just riffing on this. What do you guys think? Is he loving it? Obama used IRS, FBI, ATF, and OSHA too. Yes, he was worse than the Clintons. Oh yeah, he was the next level. He was way more Marxist than those guys were. They were more globalist. They were more global agenda. And he was way more destroy the country from within. They both are working towards the same goal though, which has also stood out with Peanut and Fred. What happened? Yeah, poor Peanut and Fred, man. That whole story just breaks my heart still. There's another way of doing it randomly. The Department of Education is now abolished. See ya. Yeah, that's a great random way to do it. Snap. Snap. All right, I don't know that. We'll be surprised by the rest. Let's see. Okay, we'll be surprised by the rest. Let's see. We'll move on here. All right. So talking about cabinet positions, that's pretty exciting. And I don't have anything else in that category, so let's remove that. Take that down. Close that up. And then promise is kept. These are some of the reasons why. Check this out, guys. Check this out. This is in my Drain the Swamp category. Oh yeah, there we go. Look at this. This is why we need to do it, in case you forgot. Look at this. This is the revolving door in Washington. This is going to be the 7-year cooling off period where you can't what the hell? Okay. Where you can't go to work for the companies you regulate or some other stuff like that. Okay. Sorry, I gotta take care of something real quick here. A little behind the scene. What the hell? Go back. There we go. Okay, much better. All right, so here we go. Check it out. These are the guys right here that have been working in the deep state forever, and then are connected to it somehow, and they go on to work for the companies that regulate. Mark McClellan on the top left, former FDA commissioner in charge of regulating Johnson & Johnson. On the right is the current member of the board of directors for Johnson & Johnson. What do you know? Scott got a lib. Same deal. FDA, Pfizer. Stephen Hahn, FDA, Moderna. James C. Smith on the left, CEO of Reuters, in charge of informing people about the COVID-19 vaccine. On the right is the current member of the board of directors of Pfizer, Anthony Fauci. On the left, the NAD director under the National Institute of Health. On the right, the funder of bioweapons research on gain of function bat coronaviruses at the Wuhan Institute of Virology. I mean, this is just like, I came across it. I was like, that's very interesting stuff. Yeah, it's just amazing what we've been putting up with all these times. And what's been the reason why we had to put up with it is because they, they've had so much cover. Now they don't have cover anymore. What are they going to do? Oh, what are they going to do? I don't know. All right, so back to the topics of I got to give Ron a chance to talk about Marco. Got to do it. And my thoughts on this are clear. I do agree with Ron. I have a long-standing distrust of Marco Rubio, but I do trust our president, and I do know that he knows 2 magical words. And if Marco ever gets out of line, he can say them. They're called "You're fired." Yeah, that is why our food is contaminated. Memento. We have idiots that are just there for profit. And I'm going to show you some stuff about soil regeneration here later in the show. And a new documentary that we're going to be watching on Old School Watch Party Sundays, where we watch documentaries and movies together. And so we will be doing that very soon. This Sunday, we will be back with Am I Racist? I know that's one of the things we're going to watch. I don't know. Does that count? I think that counts as a documentary. And so I'll have to find a fun little movie to go with it that's November themed or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. I'll figure it out somehow. We'll have something fun. Maybe we'll take crowd recommendations. I don't know. Anyways, the what am I racist is funny. It's really funny. All right. So it's really good too. ATF is another one that needs to go. Yep. What do they do? Hey, alcohol, tobacco, and firearms. How those things go together? I never could figure that out. Can't wait for RFK to get working. Me either. Man, that's going to be the epic. That's one of my favorite things going on. I can't wait. I know it's controversial, but God didn't intend to give us children for us to give them to other people to teach and raise. I am great with the Department of Education going away. Oh yeah, and coming up really shortly. In fact, really shortly, we're going to be looking at that 10K for homeschoolers. So I'm pretty excited about that. I can't wait till that gets through. That's why we need to make sure we give him all the backing he can possibly get to pass these policies and keep these grubby neocons out of the way. Keep the corrupt establishment Democrats out of the way. Let's see which one of these yahoos worked for the tobacco company too. I'm sure there's a long list. That was just a short list right there. That was just something I found. Thought I'd bring it to you. Yeah, let's end the Department of Education. If Shelly is watching, girl, I hope you get your raised veggie garden and make sure you compost, use heirloom seeds, and get ladybugs for pest control. Absolutely. All right, here we go. Time to listen to Ron Paul's take on Marco Rubio. Let's hear it.
We got a little bit concerned about this announcement that at least somebody's quoting somebody like Trump and saying Trump said this and Trump's plans to do this. And that has to do with Rubio. You know, Rubio, he's one of those that's not on our favorite list.
No.
So, and that means that he could become Secretary of State. And I don't think that would be good for the country.
No.
So,
or the world.
There's two different kinds of people in the world, the way I see it, when I want to simplify it. There are the authoritarians, and there are the people who want to follow, voluntarism and peaceful means. And I would put him into the category of authoritarianism because he's expressed himself. He wants, and his authoritarianism doesn't mean that he beats up on people. That's a personal thing. But authoritarians in politics is much, much more deadly.
Yeah.
They have more power and they can do things. They can change the world. They can, especially in the Secretary of State, they can set the stage for a conflict that becomes very real and very dangerous. I think the non-intervention is obviously the way to go, but right now I would say that Rubio, as Secretary of State, would be taking a step in a direction that we would not be pleased with.
Yeah, and I mean, as positive as we felt yesterday, we were talking about some rumors about Vivek Ramaswamy, and although he's not exactly in our camp, he's more of a realistically minded person who we thought would look at the world pretty objectively, and a very smart guy, objectively true, very smart guy. Well, it kind of went downhill, and I went home, and not only Rubio is bad news, Dr. Paul. I don't want to make it even sound worse, but Mike Waltz as National Security Advisor, an absolute disaster. And Elaine Stefanik, although she won't necessarily be in a policy-making role, she'll be enormously high profile as the U.S. ambassador to the UN. And ironically, because we cheered when Trump said, "I will not have Pompeo or Nikki Haley in my administration," she literally is Nikki Haley. You know, she's a younger version of Nikki Haley. You know, in terms of policy. So very crestfallen on our part. As you say, our fingers are right now so crossed. I think we need a splint on them, hoping that we'll at least get one.
Okay. I mean, the one thing about the libertarian groups, they're very set in their ways. And but they're also very open-minded. So give it time, things work out, they come back around. So I'm not too worried about that. But I like to always give people a chance to say what's on their mind. Let's see. Okay, let me plop that back there. All right, guys. I know I've made you wait for it. Well, let's get it on up here. Let's get it on in. Here we go. Trump's pledge to homeschool families. It's going to be amazing. Coming right up right now. Check it out. You have the floor, Mr. President.
As president, it was my honor to support America's homeschool families and to protect the God-given right of every parent to be the steward of their children's education. Since the China virus, America has seen an estimated 30% increase in homeschool enrollment. When I'm reelected, I will do everything I can to support parents who make the courageous choice of homeschool. Under the Trump tax cuts, we allowed families to use 529 education savings accounts to spend up to $10,000 a year tax-free on tuition for grades K through 12. This was a tremendous win for school choice, very important, school choice, remember that term. And yet that benefit did not apply to homeschoolers. So to support the growing homeschool movement, in my next term, I will immediately fight to allow homeschool parents the same incredible benefit, $10,000 a year per child, completely tax-free to spend on costs associated with homeschool education. I will also work to ensure that every homeschool family is entitled to full access to the benefits available to non-homeschool students, including participating in athletic programs, clubs, after-school activities, educational trips, and more. To every homeschool family, I will be your champion. Do not vote Democrat. They are looking to destroy you. If you don't mind my saying that, Joe Biden can't put two sentences together, and yet he's looking to destroy you. Do not vote Democrat. Do not vote for Crooked Joe. Vote for Honest Donald. Thank you very much.
Honest Donald. Honest Donald. I love it. Yeah, I know they're crap everywhere, Ronnie. I hear you. With 10K, I could jet set off to places with my children. Well, I mean, it would certainly pay for my yearly tuition, and it would pay me back for all the years of tuition that I paid. I mean, it'd be nice to get that money back. I mean, it would. It also would pay me back for all the money I've put into the stupid public schools that just have been hurting children and abusing children. I don't like that shit. I don't like funding that. It does not sit well with me. I did not agree to such things. I did not agree to such things at all. All right. Okay. Let me see here. I think we're still on topic with this. All right, I'll give this a chance. Let me see. Think about. Oh, that's 2 hours. That's 2 hours, Ellie. Heidi, I can't play a 2 hour. Need clips. Okay, so I'll look at it later. I'll look at this thing later about Benny. I can't do that tonight though. Can't do it in the middle of the show. All right, so let me see. Think about how much money we would save too. I know, right? My niece and nephew were homeschooled mostly by their mother. Cool. Yeah, we stopped trying to do any kind of private schools. Like they all suck too, man. Went to a private school, thought it'd be good. They tried to take them to some kind of. They literally said this to me on the phone. They were like, "We didn't get his permission slip to go on the field trip." I was like, "What's the field trip to?" Oh, Dad. They were taking him to. God, what was the term they used? They're taking him to some kind of woke training, man. They were taking him to, and this is like in elementary school. Some kind of like protesting training or some shit. I was like, you kidding me? I was like, no, he stays in study hall. I forget what that was. It was some kind of weird shit. I was like, what the hell? I thought, old Blue Eyes, what's up? How you doing over there? Hey, on the YouTube side. How you doing, old Blue Eyes? Good to see you, man. How you been? Happy that you're here. Everybody say hello to old Blue Eyes. You scratch off fever, man. How's it going? Did you go win anything big lately? Oh man, yeah, you're just in time. Let's see what we're doing next here. Where are we at? We got that. We did that. Saving that for funny video night. Other stuffs and things and stuff. All right. It's this one. Oh yeah, the greatest. You know, I'll save that for good times too. Good, I mean, good news. Got that. I'm just doing a little organizing here in the back end. All right, I got to tell you guys, I told you guys this Saturday night, winning Saturday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, a new intro, upgraded intro will be happening. We don't change the intro as much, but when we do, it's a big deal. All right. Okay. So now we're going to get into this appointment today. And we're going to get into obstruction, and we're going to get into possible shenanigans in the Senate races. We're going that direction. Let's see. Yes, we're going that direction very fast. Then we're going to go back and take a look at some of the things that we looked at leading up to the election concerning these topics and concerning what the deep state may do. So maybe I need an intro with those things. Let me think about it for a second. First, I want to go about obstruction. Let's just go back for a minute. Let's take a trip back in time. Let's do that. That'll be interesting. I think I can do this. It'll be all right. We'll do that, and then we'll take a trip back in time for that part too. So now that we talked about everything we're getting done, right, and the new cabinet members and all that stuff, we hope they all get in. There's no problems there. We have to remember that the deep state and the corrupt establishment, they never stop. And they always plan ahead, and they always got something up their sleeve, dirty rat scandals. So here is a clip from, this may look a little weird because you're going to see two of me, but maybe I'll just pop the whole thing on screen. Here's a recap of J. Michael Waller's interview with Tucker Carlson when he talked about the deep state plans for 2024. And this is basically how it goes down. And this is a refresher because now we're going to talk about obstructionism and things like that. I want to make sure that we go back and talk about and know what we're talking about here. Look, see, echo. Let's go.
Called Rosa Brooks headed up a group that she called the Transition Integrity Project.
All right, that's the key thing right there. The Transition Integrity Project. All right, that's the little group there. Is the volume okay for everybody? That's the little group there that most people haven't heard about. That are going to be very very critical to understand what they're doing and what they have already done. The name itself doesn't sound too threatening, does it? Wait till you find out what they do.
Heard of it? You're about to learn a lot more about it. So the goal of the Transition Integrity Project, this was before the last presidential election, of course, was to play out different outcomes from that election and see how the country would handle each one, kind of a war game, a political war game. The project was made up from representatives from a bunch of different groups, but similar groups: law professors, political strategists, retired military officers, all from the left. Now, their stated goal was to focus on 4 possible outcomes of the 2020 election: a narrow Biden win, a big Biden win, a Trump win, and a scenario with no immediate winner, basically a tie, confusion. So they spent 4 days doing this, and they played out a bunch of different scenarios. Now, you should know, if you want a flavor of what this looked like, that Donald Trump was played by Bill Kristol. Joe Biden was played by former Democrat
Bill Kristol, neocon, the leader of the neocon movement, I guess at this point, the heir apparent, his father, that's Bill Kristol, Irving Kristol, was one of the founders of the neoconservative movement. So this will let you know, that's the guy supposedly playing Trump in this wargaming. So yeah, the establishment, the false left right paradigm is still in full effect. It's just not in, and if they're still working together, right? They're still a team, but even though they don't hold power in the GOP anymore. So, like I said, they're always waiting in the background to take it back.
Democratic White House Chief of Staff John Podesta, et cetera, et cetera. Other members of the group included washed-up neocon lunatic Max Boot, Michael Steele, the MSNBC regular, Jennifer Granholm, the failed governor, and David Frum, who's some sort of loud Canadian.
So yeah, check that out. Right there is your false left right paradigm. You got neocons and Democrats are sitting in there working together to war game against Trump. So that's where this group comes from.
So you can kind of get a sense of what these were like, these meetings. So here was the assessment of what they found. This is Rosa Brooks describing it. We're quoting. A landslide for Joe Biden resulted in a relatively orderly transfer of power. Every other scenario we looked at involves street-level violence and political crisis. That's not a threat, though.
Yeah.
She went on, and we're quoting. With the exception of the big Biden win scenario, each of our exercises reached the brink of catastrophe with massive disinformation campaigns, violence in the streets, and a constitutional impasse. End quote. Again, not a threat at all. Elect our guy or America falls apart and people die. That's just a result of social science. That's what we found. So they said, the Transition Integrity Project said that their goal was to find out the very worst thing that could happen in a presidential election. And the assessment was clear. You could not allow Donald Trump to win or else America would end.
Yeah. I mean, you see the comedy in this? The comedy is
whenever you hear these words, they're the opposite.
You fall for that too.
The Transition Integrity Project. What was and is it, and why does it matter?
It's the opposite of what it says it is.
Of course. Yeah, of course. It's not here to bring
J. Michael Waller, yeah.
integrity to political transitions.
Maybe to their own, fundamentally transforming the country, but no. Yes. So whenever you hear these words, they're the opposite of what they mean.
Yes.
With these guys, it was to determine in 2020 that the transition from a Trump administration would be nice and orderly.
Right.
And if it wasn't orderly, the military should intervene to remove Donald Trump.
Okay. So it was calling for a military coup.
Right. And the head of the project, the co-founder of the project, Rosa Brooks, had actually called for reconsidering and getting rid of civilian control of the military back in 2016.
So if this is maybe a side road, but I think it's important. If the military is not controlled by elected officials, as it would be in a democracy, who would make decisions about military force?
They're not clear about that.
Oh, they're not clear about that.
This is banana republic stuff.
Well, of course, by definition.
Yeah, in the name of protecting our Constitution.
Yeah, military junta to save democracy. So Rosa Brooks has called for that.
Yeah.
So
even when Trump was elected or inaugurated 2 weeks later, she wrote that we have to find a way to remove him from power.
So would you say, just so we can define terms at the outset, that anyone who calls for a military coup against an elected official is by definition an enemy of democracy?
Public enemy. City Law Center. So it's the premier law school in Washington, D.C.
Right.
It's a feeder school to the Justice Department.
Yes.
It's a feeder school to Supreme Court clerks.
Right.
To the whole intelligence community. And this stuff is being planned.
We'll get to the part where he talks about
a country that cared about its own preservation, cared
a president who they agree would have been
plan.
American Spectator. She's there. All opts to other jurisdictions.
Doing background right now.
They want to keep it in the Washington D.C. circuit where they're guaranteed to win.
Right. So I would assume.
You guys catch that one? You guys catch?
Retired when you retire, and then you have former officials who still have security clearances.
Your clearance as you do this.
Yeah.
So that's a massive advantage, correct?
You see how Trump's getting rid of this?
I guarantee
you don't know this.
And that's the reason some should
Where's
keep their
Thomas?
clearances, because we need that kind of institutional knowledge once people leave.
Right.
So, but we don't need it on this massive industrial scale like they have in Washington, D.C.
So again, why wouldn't, if you were the incoming Republican president, you just cancel the security clearances of people who
That's what he's going to do, right?
I mean, that's not hard, is it?
No, because you're abusing it's a privilege to have a clearance.
Right.
It's an economic advantage.
I don't have a clearance.
No, I don't have a clearance.
Yeah.
So it's a privilege to have it, and you're doing it.
That.
Let's say Trump gets elected. What happens?
They'll have 100 pieces of litigation ready to go out the door during the presidential transition to hamstring him, to hamstring all his appointees. They have their allies inside the government to slow walk security clearances to make sure that his appointees who don't have clearances cannot get clearance.
Evelyn.
He'll be a one-term president, so the bureaucracy knows, just ride it out. Just drag things as slowly as you can and make things as hard as you can. And then shop for the right judicial venues to make sure that you get a court circuit that will rule favorably in your case. So just think when you're Washington.
These are some of the things we're looking out for, guys. Just going back in time here and remembering what is a possibility, right? So as the weeks go by, we'll start looking for these things. Now, what they didn't know back then, what we know now, is that he got a landslide. He got the popular vote mandate. He got for right now, it seems control of the Senate and the House, right? We're going to talk about that a little bit here coming up. And that's maybe some of these things that we thought we had might slip away if we don't keep an eye on it.
An insider at Georgetown Law School, and your husband was on the Supreme Court staff. You're networked across the Justice Department. You're networked among the judges. You know everyone. They're your friends.
Right.
They're your social circles. Of course, they're going to help you.
It sounds like the swamp wasn't drained.
Not at all.
Not at all. Has it gotten stronger?
Yep.
Yeah, because President Trump came in saying he would drain it. He didn't have any idea what he was up against. He didn't have a team.
Yes.
He didn't have a strategy.
Nope.
He didn't have blueprints. He just went ahead and thought he could do it. And then look what happened. So the swamp is stronger than ever.
Yep, but not this time, guys. This time he knows. The one thing that Trump can do is he learns. He learns from his experiences and comes back bigger, better, and stronger.
What is the opposing side, the Republican side, the campaign, the super PAC, the RNC, the institutions of resistance to the Biden administration? What are they doing to prepare for this onslaught of lawsuits if and when Trump wins?
I have no idea.
What do you mean you have no idea?
I am not aware of anything that's being done at present.
At all?
At all. On the outside, yeah. So Heritage Foundation has action plans. America First Policy Institute has action plans. Some other groups have action plans, or they're putting them together now, but there's nothing for the campaign or the party.
Yeah, see, I mean, that's, again, it's like, it takes all of us, right? There's only so much they can do. Are they going to have full game? What's up to cover? Hopefully people get in there and get close to Trump and his team, can start pushing them towards the more important things. However, it takes a lot. It takes a whole movement, right? So these other people that he's naming off, these other groups that he's naming off, they're preparing, right? So a little bit of good news there. And
political actors. Yeah. How did that happen? And how did we not notice?
I think we pretty much covered some of it.
Like people who don't take care of their health. It's beyond my pretty well.
There's all reporting going on. All right.
Because it's a bipartisan effort with Max Boot.
Yes, but those guys aren't really
also.
I'm cast one extras.
You, according to the Atlantic, you
the power synergy for more power.
And every time
power.
All right,
depend on the sheriffs and the local cops.
You guys want to watch the rest of that? It's on my channel. It's an awesome interview, but I just wanted to pull up that for reference. Whoop, there I am. To get us started on this next segment here. And actually, while I'm at it, let me just go ahead and grab the link there and I'll put it out there for you guys. You can go back and watch the whole thing. It's really good. I highly recommend watching this. And if you want to watch the last part of it, you got to go to Rumble. There's a link in the description of the video, and there you have it. All right. So yeah, little blast from the past there. Don't do that. I don't think I've ever done that, but there you have it. And so let's talk about obstruction and how they're going to try to, they're always adjusting their plans, right? So how are they going to do that? Well, one thing they did, and we're going to go to Mr. Charlie Cook here to give us some analysis on this, is they, there's like a bunch of things out of here today. I'm going to let him take a whack at it. So I could go to Black Conservative Perspective on this, and that would be fine, but let me bring Charlie Kirk up here and give him a whack at this one and see I'm curious to see what, being part of Turning Point, being close to the Trump administration, what he thinks.
We have breaking news right now. A lot of breaking news happening on this program. We have a new Senate Majority Leader, Senator John Thune from South Dakota. Now, this audience did not want Senator Thune. We were enthusiastically behind Senator Rick Scott. And the vote totals went like this. In the first volley of votes, Senator John Thune did not get a majority. He received a plurality. Then, after the second round of votes, he is Senate Majority Leader. The first round of votes was like this: 23 for John Thune, 15 for Mr. Cornyn, and then 13 for Rick Scott, 27 in order to pass. A second round of voting occurred, and John Thune is now Senate Majority Leader, 29 votes to 24 votes. Now, mind you, that is one of the closer votes that we have seen in quite some time. Now, look, I'm not going to spend our time attacking John Thune. He's in charge. What I will say is John Thune has a short window to show us who he is, to show us what he's made of. I'm willing to say, okay, fine. Everyone says that you're a rhino. Everyone says that you're a gutless wonder. Maybe you are, maybe you aren't. You have a short window to show us that you will support President Trump, fill his cabinet, confirm his judges, pass his agenda, do recess appointments, keep the Senate operational for 24 hours. If Chuck Grassley has to go take a nap, that's fine. We're not going to put up with this. Senate goes into nap time for a couple days. Look, our movement is ascendant, and they know this. This is a very, very tight Senate majority election. Very, very tight. Our movement is growing. It is powerful. But allow me to emphasize one of the most disturbing elements of this Senate leadership election. We don't know how people voted. Of all the votes that they take, this is one of the most important votes that they take. Since Republicans vote with the party 98% of the time, what matters is who are they actually putting in charge of the United States Senate? And the majority leader decides that. But their votes are private. We don't actually know who voted for John Thune. We can guess, we can piece it together. We know some of his allies. I like Mark Wayne Mullen. I think he's a good man from Oklahoma. We've gotten to know each other. Don't agree on a lot of stuff, but he's willing to dialogue. He's behind John Thune. Okay. I know some people are behind John Cornyn. But why the secret ballot? And it's very clear. They do a secret ballot because they're terrified of you. John Thune is now Senate Majority Leader. If he does not support President Trump in these next 30 to 45 days to fill President Trump's cabinet, we will remove him. If he does support President Trump, we'll support him. But Thune won in the darkness. Thune did not win when people had to voice their support for John Thune. The only way that they are able to keep business as usual in the Senate is to not have you see who's actually supporting business as usual in the Senate. And in some ways, that should give you some hope and some optimism. That should give you some confidence and encouragement.
So does that make sense why I showed that flashback where Bill Kristol was playing the president? They were wargaming if he won. And we're going to talk about slow walking security clearances and his appointments and just causing a big mayhem. Doesn't it seem like this secret vote, this sudden appointment, doesn't it seem like that almost plays into what we just were hearing? That's why I wanted to play it. That's why I want to keep an eye on it. Because if that's the case, then we know it's on. We know it's on. We know what to expect next, and knowing lots of litigation. Litigation. Yeah. Yep. Sabotage. Let's let Charlie finish here. And I got some other obstructionist stuff here.
In some ways, it's actually a very good thing because they're terrified of you because you care and the American people have awoken from their slumber. This is not the result that any of us wanted, but it was the high probability result. Some people said, oh, Rick Scott's going to win no matter what. I said, I don't think you realize how much the U.S. Senate is in contradiction to the needs, wants, and interests of the American people. But they're increasingly getting nervous that they might face primary challenges. The Senate is not an insular good old boy club. It should be a representative of the citizens. However, it does operate as a country club. Secret ballots, work a couple hours a day, kind of go work out in the gym, feel as if you're very important, lunch with lobbyists, foreign trips. You feel as if you're this really important person. And we rose up in record numbers this election to try to prevent this exact thing. The American people, think about what the American people voted for just a week ago. The American people voted for transparency, accountability, integrity, honesty. The American people voted against everything that we've just seen through the United States Senate. And I'm not going to make this the John Thune bashing hour. I am willing. I'm very cynical and I'm very skeptical because if I was a betting man, I would say this guy's not going to deliver. But prove me wrong, John Thune. Prove me wrong. I'd be the first one to say on the Charlie Kirk Show, this guy is the best Senate Majority Leader in a generation. I want you to prove this entire audience wrong. And I'd be the first one to do, you know what? You've been terrific. We call balls and strikes here. We call it as we see it. What do I think is going to happen? I think that you are going to continue in the tradition of McConnell. But it's a blank slate. Show us that you are not that. Show us that you are willing to listen to your voters. And yes, you are up in 2028. I sure wish it was 2026, but 2028 will be here. That cycle will happen very, very soon. Blake is from South Dakota. He could be the chairman of the South Dakota Pressure Project. And by the way, that is one of the reasons why they wanted to get behind John Thune. They're so smart. They're so clever. That's not the right word, clever. And Aristotle said in one of his books, The Ethics, that cleverness without ethics is one of the most dangerous combinations. And boy, is that correct. When you are clever, you're able to navigate and you're able to snake through the institutions. This is so similar to why they chose Mr. Langford to do the border bill, because he is far away from a primary challenge. He is distant from the accountability of the American people. And so for John Thune, they say, okay, even if he gets to be really upset, if Charlie Kirk and Tucker Carlson and the whole gang want to primary Mr. Thune, he is detached from the accountability. Do not underestimate. That is one of the reasons why some of these senators got behind Mr. Thune. I've never met John Thune. I've never talked to him. He said some very nasty things about President Trump before, saying he should withdraw from the race, saying you wish other people. But look, you have to have short memories in politics. You have to. You got to wipe it clean. Okay, new day, new mandate. So what are you going to do, Mr. Thune? And I'm very curious. I want to see the statement.
What are you going to do, Mr.
And by the way,
Thune?
Senator Thune, you're always welcome on this program. If you want to be in front of a big
What are you
audience,
gonna do,
this is where
Thune?
the stuff really happens anymore. It's no longer just on the cable news chatterbox.
What you
Where
going to
you
do,
go on
Mr.
and get a couple
Thune?
softball questions about how much money you're sending to Ukraine. We don't do that around here. We're going to get down to the essence of the matter. And I understand you're not a movement conservative.
I hear that.
But we got some
Memento.
questions. Are you going to do recess appointments? Are you willing to support the president and his agenda? Can we get a border bill? Will you?
We know what to look for, right? Because J. Michael Waller just laid it out as what he's going to try to do, and like Charlie Kirk's laying it out. Be Mitch McConnell like, right? We know what to look for. We'll get him out of there. We can get him out of there. We don't have to wait till 28 to get him out of this position.
Pass a bill to allow for Department of Homeland Security to do their job? These are all very important questions. Are we going to have real spending cuts? If Elon Musk and Vivek Ramaswamy, by the way, who's in charge of the Department of Government Efficiency, if they highlight hundreds of billions of dollars of wasteful spending, Doge, are you going to have the wherewithal and the fortitude as Senate Majority Leader to capitalize on those cuts? And understand this. For those of you that might be a little down, don't get down. We had the most triumphant win last week. I'm not going to let you get down. This is just a little annoyance. It's just a little mosquito bite. That's all that this is. They're not in control. This was Thune barely eked this one out. This was a squeaker. He doesn't have control of the conference. There's going. By the way, our numbers are growing.
Buffoon.
Think of the type of senators that we have there that are Marco Rubio behind Rick Scott. Ted Cruz got behind Rick Scott. Marsha Blackburn got behind Rick Scott. We are multiplying. We have great, great names in the U.S. Senate. Jim Banks, for example, is going to be a new member, and he is excellent. Maybe one of the best ones we have out of this entire class. Bernie Moreno is going to be terrific. I can vouch for that personally. And it's going to be a process. But right now, John Thune is running the U.S. Senate. And if he fails to deliver, we will replace him. And we'll do it quicker than Kevin McCarthy.
There you
go. By the way, Blake, can you read Senate rules? I think 3 senators can force a leadership vote. I think.
There you go. That probably answers
the American people are back in charge, and the Senate doesn't like it. They are so terrified of you, they have to be in their little club without transparent leadership elections. And I want somebody, anybody, a breathing human being to tell me, email me, freedom@charliekirk.com. You are welcome on my show. Why the U.S. Senate should do private and secret ballots. Somebody tell me. Somebody tell me. I want to hear from you. freedom@charliekirk.com. But let me just say, and I'm curious, is it constitutional to have secret ballots? Maybe. But shouldn't they be subject to freedom of information requests? Shouldn't they be subject to the American? I mean, I might be getting cute by half here.
Pardon this if you're typing.
Blake says, yes, it is constitutional. This is a private party action. All right. The essence of what I'm saying is that it certainly is not defensible through any sort of standard that we apply to anything else. You are there as a representative of voters. Blake says it's a private party action. Fair enough. However, I want any senator to come on this program to tell me why you will not tell your voters who you voted for. It's because you are terrified of justifying your vote. If Thune or Cornyn or whoever was the best option ever, then you should say that. Do you notice one interesting thing? Almost every single person who voted for Rick Scott told you they were voting for Rick Scott. Right? We knew that Rick Scott was coming in with 13 votes. Now, isn't that interesting? We knew who was voting for Rick Scott, but we didn't know who was voting for Thune or Cornyn. Why? Because Rick Scott is a justifiable option in the public eye. Rick Scott is a defendable position. Whereas John Thune, they know people would face primary challenges, state GOP revolts. No transparency reflects a fear of the people.
All right. I think we get to
and it only furthers this narrative that the American people do not trust their leaders.
True. Good point. Good points made. I'm glad that Marino got in here by overwhelming vote. We still have over 220K outstanding absentee provisional ballots here in Ohio. Yes, that's where we're going next. We got, but we have to keep on this. We got to keep on this, this track we're on. We're going to be going to exactly what you're talking about, Heidi, here after this next piece. And we're not going to listen to the entire thing here. We're just going to listen to the part that pertains to well, what we've been talking about, sabotage, and deep state nefarious activities that could hinder President Trump's administration and his term here and his effectiveness. That's what they want to do. And then they can be like, see, he didn't do anything, you know. Meanwhile, they're the reason why nothing gets done. We can't use them as an excuse. We have to fight through it. And I believe that he will fight through it. I believe he's ready for this kind of stuff to happen and that he will he will pull out his ace card, his trump cards. He'll pull out his trump cards on him. Let's hope. Let's watch. Let's see. He's got a great team right now. He's got some people that are sick and tired of the bullshit like us. But let's check it out. Further down the rabbit hole we go on the deep state plans for 2024. Should Trump get elected, which he did, which they looks like might be enacting right now.
My friends, I'm a reasonable man. I'm not swayed by emotional arguments. I just want to know what is true, what works, and I want to make people live better lives. And I tell you this right now, Trump shall have his revenge, and he shall have his retribution, so he wills it. And if he doesn't, and if he wants to go the light route, well, so he wills it. Donald Trump won. He won the mandate. Decision Desk has called the House. The Times hasn't, but Decision Desk did. They say Republicans got the House, the Senate, Supreme Court, the presidency, and Trump has a mandate. Part of that mandate largely is a restoration of equality under the law. And that means, well, some might call it revenge. Some might call it retribution. I'm okay with retribution. I'm not a big revenge guy. That's too emotional. You know, facts don't care about your feelings, right?
How does prosecuting?
But we need the
criminals.
facts on our side, and the facts are as such. A nation cannot stand when a large political faction weaponizes the justice system against its political opponents. So I ask you all not for revenge. May you have it so you want it. I ask you all for equality under the law and accountability. But the media, of course, for the left is losing their minds.
Let's go.
DOJ lawyer provides roadmap to slowing down Trump's revenge-minded maniacs. So look, sometimes I will, sort of a joke, say revenge. But what I really mean is accountability. And I'll give you the quick gist before we run through all of the articles of all of the Democrats terrified that Donald Trump will get his retribution. Now, first, let me say, I don't mind retribution. They're terrified that in places like New York, Trump will launch a civil rights case. It's bunk. And also why the civil fraud charges are bunk. And it's true. You know, look, Democrats are downstream. Their whole worldview is downstream from hoaxes, as Greg Gutfeld said. In New York, Donald Trump was accused of falsifying business records in furtherance of another crime. We don't know what that other crime was.
There wasn't. I'm just going to speed it up.
That is a conspiracy against rights thrown out. Secondly, the civil fraud case. Donald Trump delivered an assessment of his properties to his lenders, to the banks. In these, it was testified to that due diligence, the numbers could be wrong. They were wrong. And they just came back and said, we'll give you less money. Trump agreed. Everybody was happy. The loan was paid back. The bank made money. Why was they're saying now? Well, over at The Atlantic, they write Trump's deep state revenge. It's not just these cases I've mentioned. You also have Jack Smith going after Donald Trump on these federal charges, which are bunk. And so what happens? Not only were the charges dropped, the feds have backed off the efforts of all of our members who fund Timcast, who get involved, that we had whatever influence we did on this political machine, albeit small, but kind efforts, Politico. For some career DOJ officials, their worst dreams have come true. Believing the department will be highly politicized in a way as never been before. Except, I don't know, the last 8 years, Trump made this mistake. He gets in office and he did not clean house. I'm not confident he's going to fix it this time. I said it before, I'll say it again. Trump will be a marginally good president for us. With a thin majority in the House, we're going to get marginally good things. It's not going to be the revolution. This is why I tell you right now, if you do not remain vigilant these next 18 months, the Democrats will take the House. When they do, Trump will not get any more than this. If we stand firm, if Trump starts to reform and secure our federal election processes,
got to keep on it.
We may yet save this country. But the battle begins now. They're going to say in an interview with Politico's Josh Gerstein,
this is the first make or break step. But in order for it to be effective, we have to keep on it. And I don't know what that means yet, but it means getting out there, understanding who's running for the House, making sure that we have good candidates and that we're backing them, and then they get that MAGA support that Trump got in the election. We can't go to sleep on it. And I know people get tired. I know it wears people out. I know it's a lot. I know we all just want to go back to our lives, but we can't. You know, it's like we have to fight this all the way through, or all will be for naught. You know, all will be for naught. I think that this pretty much is just talking about the court cases. I think that was mistitled on Timmy's part there, unless I missed something, but I don't see that I did. This all seems to be not around his incoming advisors, although it says DOJ threatens to obstruct Trump's agenda. I think they're talking about his other agenda, so I might have had it mislabeled. That's okay. happens sometimes, but like I said, I'm not gonna pretend like it didn't. All right. So the F curve, y'all. First of all, let me go back to the crowd here for a second. Yeah, we need to watchdog the Republicans in the House as well as put pressure on any runs. Yeah, absolutely. We can't. We're in for the duration, man. We got to sprint to the finish line, and this is just the first lap, really. We crossed the presidential election finish line, but if he can't be effective as president, guess what happens? It's going to slide back. They're going to be like, see those guys, and then the neocons will come creeping back like, yeah. You don't have Trump anymore to beat us up. They'll come slithering back in. We'll try to run again on the same ideas, and this is like they don't work. Nobody got anything done. See, they'll gather them. Just gonna be out there being like, I promise you stuff and things. It's gonna be the same old bullshit. All the women that shave their head, their hair will be growing back in. They got their nose rings and all that stuff. Then they're gonna be like, well, it's gonna be did it 25. Then the only reason they didn't get it is because we stopped them with the House, and they're gonna try to do it again. And JD Vance is gonna be a dictator for 30 years, we just can't play these games anymore. We gotta see it through, and that means giving him even more support in the House and the Senate. In 2028, no bullshit, same amount of poll watchers, same amount of diligence on everybody's part, and for a dime and for a dollar. And we just gotta, this is a 4-year. We're in the administration for 4 years too, right? And then we got to make sure that maybe by the time we get through that and we stop everything from happening, and a lot of these people will age out. We're focusing on repairing our country generationally. Things will start lightening up as the years roll down. But people like me and people like you, we're in this thing for the long haul, and we'll have plenty of time to celebrate and have fun and enjoy our lives as things get better and enjoy our celebrations. But we can never stop being vigilant, because when those who came before us did, this mess that we're dealing with now happened. And we've learned from our mistakes. We learned from their mistakes, and we ain't gonna let it happen again. So let me now take us to our next segment here. Let me just say one more thing to the crowd here. On PJ Media tonight, last updated at 6:44, DDQ HQ, decision desk 2024, Senate 47 Dems, 52 Republicans, House 211 Dems, 219 Republicans. So that should be 220 Republicans. I'm wondering why that's not. But all the outstanding absentee and provisional ballots could still concern me. Yeah, and we need to talk about that. Usually when the new president comes into office, he selects new heads for those offices. Then the attorney general that leads the president's agenda. Well, let's go. We need to get things through the House and the Senate before midterms. Yes. Wolfram, if you Google Collier Reed Granberry and read the wick on him, you'll see his history here in Austin. Right on. Okay. The F curve. What is it? And how did it affect 2020? We're going to go back to a documentary I've been trying to get people to watch for the entirety of this year. Let my people go. I did this show in March 14th. I did this show. I took this documentary. I've been trying to get people to watch it. So you need to understand this for this upcoming election, so we know what to look for. We know what to look for when they try to do shenanigans, right? We know what to call out and why. So we're going to watch just a short little bit of this, the very short bit of this, right? And you're going to understand why I brought this up.
The banner. This is the flag that is flown by all the fraudsters out there. We saw the same F curve in all of the swing states.
See the F curve? It goes up and over, up and over. That's let's go back to
it's become meme worthy. This is basically the banner.
Yep. That's what it looks like. The Republicans are winning, then all of a sudden something happens, and this vertical happens, and they're all of a sudden winning. The Democrats are all of a sudden winning when they were losing. You see, this is what it's supposed to normally look like, right? Separation happens as the lead advances. But then something happens right here, and all of a sudden, whoop, I'm up here now.
The flag that is flown by all the fraudsters out there.
Georgia. Stop counting. Whoop. Dixon, this is the Biden injection right here, this line. Right? Boom. And as they process, it goes on and on.
We saw the same F curve in all of the swing states.
Boom.
I told them how the Georgia runoff election for the 2 senators was going to go. I gave them the model. Republicans are winning.
God, these guys are embarrassments. They're embarrassments. John the Ossoff guy should never, ever have been, neither one of these guys should ever be in office, ever.
Guess what happened? System went down.
See it? That's the F. That's the F. The big frog flag. The fraud flag, right?
Down, came back up, and it flipped. I went to Washington, D.C. on January 4th, 2021, and I met with counsel for Pompeo. How much surprise do you think was on his face?
Very little.
None.
Ruby Freeman about.
Here we are, ladies and gentlemen. I keep talking about it. Atlanta, Georgia, Fulton County, State Farm Arena, right there. You can tell by the windows. Here they are, right? This is early in the morning. Guess what's going to happen here, guys?
About early in the morning. When
They've already evacuated everybody that was watching them. Now all the dirty dealers are in the room.
the woman took their, when the whole gang took the stuff out of from under the table, right? For some reason, they put it in 3 times each ballot.
3 times each ballot.
And I don't know why.
3 times each ballot.
All right, so what we're looking at here are 2 different batches of votes.
Look at this.
Scanner 5162, batch 234, image 59, and scanner 5162, batch 235,
right.
image 19. And what you can see is
talking about the F
like on this
here,
vote
man.
right here, we've got
what that does,
this
right?
exact same.
You see this? Look at these people. They're dirty. They're in the big nasty Fulton County. There they are, the big nasty women that are in there. They had pulled these votes out from underneath the desk. Oh yeah, and they scanned them 3 times 0.
We did what I described to you earlier.
No. Did you ever check the ballots that were scammed by Ruby Freeman, a known political operative ballot
damn
here?
mask on.
Did you ever check who those votes were for?
We looked into that situation that you described.
No, they were 100% for Biden. 100%. There wasn't a Trump vote in the whole group.
Yep, and that's the F curve, y'all. That's the fraud curve. That's how it works, right? Yeah, they sure do need to go to prison for this. Is there anything else I need to talk about with the F curve? Okay, that was the portion of this. And yeah, if I keep watching this, I'll just get mad because this is an insult to my state right here, man. I might not have been born here, but I've lived here. I've reproduced in this place. Dang it. And so it's an insult. We got our dignity back. We got our dignity back this election. I'm going to drop this. Let's see. Hold on. I'm gonna drop this link to this documentary. If you have not seen it, I encourage you to watch the whole thing. I'm gonna go and put you at 30. I've got it down to a science right now. I know exactly how this documentary starts in the stream. So what I'm going to do is, oops, I don't need to save it. I need to share it. I'm going to mark it for you at the 33-minute mark. And then I'm going to put this link out there for all of my new subscribers, our new winners out there in the crowd. Right? I'm going to put this out there for you because you probably haven't got a chance to see it yet. But I want you to see it. I want you to be on the same page as the rest of the winners here, and know this information, right? So here you go. Boom, there it is. It's over on Rumble, and so just go check that out. Now looking back, I wish I just played this on Rumble and YouTube, but for some reason I didn't. I don't know why. Maybe it was the whole this kind of worried about YouTube thing. I don't know. At the time, that's just the decision we made, so that's what we went with. But yeah. Put that on your to-do list and save that link, and inform yourself about that election. This guy did a great job on it. I think it was very underviewed, undervalued. I'd bring it up to people and be like, 2,000 mules. This is 2,000 mules on steroids, guys. This movie goes so far beyond what 2000 Mules did. It's not even funny. But, you know, he doesn't have a household name like Dinesh D'Souza, right? Where was Dinesh D'Souza during the election? I'm surprised he wasn't out there with Trump campaigning and stuff. But anyways, this guy did a great job. And anyways, that we're on. You're going to see why I brought this up as we move on to our next topic. All right. So what I want to do right now is bring this up right here. Silly. Live now party at Mar-a-Lago. What? It's a live party at Mar-a-Lago. Well, we're going there. Let's go party. Jack Posobiec party. They're singing in old New York. There's a party at Mar-a-Lago right now, evidently. Concert night at Mar-a-Lago with Trump and Elon. Trump and Elon are there. I'll show that in a little bit, though. That's a recording, so I can show it. So let's go back on topic here. All right. Here we go. Oh, Scott, you got to go? Well, check this out real quick before you go. This is the F flag. You see it? But it was too big to rig. Too big to rig out there in Wisconsin. This is for president, right? But what about Senate? Uh-oh. Senate. Dang. See the F curve? See the old fraud curve right there? Have a good night, Scott. Take care, man. Good to see you. We'll see you soon, all right? Remember, come back Friday night to watch Jake Paul Tyson fight with us, right? We're going to start here, and then we're going to go over to Rumble and X, and we're going to try to go the distance of the fight before we get taken down. But we're going to watch it together. We got to watch it together. It's Mike Tyson. All right. So anyways, as you can see here in Wisconsin, boom, there it is again. That old familiar. And when you watch Let My People Go, they'll explain to you how they track it, right? How they track all this stuff. And when it starts out right here, right? They're keeping the spacing in a certain way. And then boom. All right. So the problem with this is that we lost a Senate seat because of it, right? We lost a Senate seat because of it. And get rid of that. Okay. And let's see, where's my other one? Oh yeah, here it is. How come I didn't have that saved? Maybe I did. Here we go. And this is what we got to look at right now. So we round in third base here. That's Wisconsin. What do you think happened in Nevada? What do you think? How about Pennsylvania? That's still in play. Check this out. Thank you, Crown Target, for bringing this to my attention. Pennsylvania U.S. Senate election results. More than 95% of the votes are in. Just a little bit to go. And look how close it is. Look how close it is. And screw all you people that voted for the Libertarian. But look how close it is. Right? We got to beat the establishment. Dave McCormick was the guy. I'm just kidding, Libertarians. But anyways, Dave McCormick right here, right? It's very close. It's very close right now, right? And they haven't stopped counting. And as Heidi was saying earlier, up here, somewhere up there, somewhere up here. Oh, I'm looking at the wrong things here. All right. Dems went up by one, Republican went down by one in the House. Is that what happened? I'm saying, man, they're not done with their games, man. Like, they may be like, Trump's gonna be too big to rig, but while they're all celebrating, we'll just keep stealing and stealing and stealing. Cool. Awesome. Have a great night, Scott. And that's what I'm saying, man. I hope that nobody's got their I hope that the Trump team has not stopped looking out for the Senate and the House. Right? Because I smell some F curves, man, coming. If we don't keep an eye on it, I'm afraid that we're going to not have what we need for him, and that the deep state will have their ability to obstruct him. Thus, the whole how I've pieced this last half of the show together is to understand that there is a plan to obstruct him. There is a plan to deal with his victory. They've had it planned out for a long time, been brought to our attention by a reliable source, a solid patriot, and Michael J. Waller. And now we're starting to see, and I said after the election, we have to keep our eyes open. This is the stuff I was talking about. This is exactly what I was talking about. Are they going to start to execute the plans? And what else do they have up their sleeves? Okay, F curve in the Senate races and the House races might be that other thing, because we've all been taking a breath and chilling and feeling good about our win, right? And that we should. We got to remember who we're dealing with here. We're dealing with people who don't act and feel like us, who don't see the world the same way we do. We're dealing with people who are proud and open abusers of other people, as we see their victims suffering right now, shaving their heads and tying their tubes and committing murders and doing nasty, nasty things and saying nasty things, cutting their families off, cutting their lives off, divorcing people. This is the result of their abuse, their information-laced abuse, their corrupt establishment narrative, boxing these people into a false reality. They don't give a fuck about doing that to people. Is it past 2 hours? It just is. Good. Don't give me a hard time for saying that, because I got to make the point clear. These people aren't like us. We know this, though. We're smart. We're based. We're here. We're part of the solution. But yeah, that's what we're dealing with, man. That's what we're dealing with. And you know what's so funny? And again, we're going to look more into that. Keep an eye on it. There's a thing about Arizona. There's a thing about Nevada where it looked like we had Nevada won, and then the last second, whoop. And if I can find a chart like I can find those on Nevada, I'm guessing I'm going to find an F curve on that too. A big old fraud curve on that too. But you know what? When I wanted to point this out, you know what always seems to happen when shit's going down? The freaking UFOs show up. Every time. Oh, everybody come rushing in for the big old conspiratainment fun. I don't buy it. They never say anything. I made this graphic to illustrate this point, and also because I think I'm just gonna like replay the congressional hearing, So if you guys want to watch the 2-hour congressional hearing, it might be a day stream tomorrow, or I might just like put it on or something like that at night. I don't know. If you haven't seen it yet and you don't want to watch it with anybody else, we can watch it together. Since I'm not going to do a stream tomorrow night, I figure maybe I'll do an unveiling reality and throw this out there, just cover it, just to sit there, so I can sit there and be like pointing it out. Let's just debunk the hell out of it. Maybe it'll just be unveiling reality. Let's just go with that midday stream. If you're not doing anything, join me. Most people might have seen this by now, but I'm going to show the UAP, right? But I'm going to show it more to point out that there's absolutely nothing to it. I watched something. I watched a good deal of it today already. They don't say anything new, but there are people out there that want to watch it. So we should at least watch it together. If you're skeptical about all this bullshit, I'm the right stream to come to. I think that they roll this shit out right on time. And so why these F curves and this fraud and this sabotage and this, McConnell secret ballot to put a freaking puppet, a clone of himself in, perhaps, as they start to do their little dirty deeds, fucking UFOs. Again, like we don't know by now. But some people are just like, yeah, they get all excited. They're like, oh my God, Trump's going to get full disclosure. These things aren't real. Man, none of that stuff's been proven to be legitimate either. Yeah, the hearing was today. Yeah, I watched some of it when it was going on. I watched some of Gary's stream on it. I'm not taking the same position in as people. I'm more about the game that's being played with it, because I've been tracking this. In fact, let me just do this for you. And for those who are interested in a long watch, I got time on my hands. Watch, right? Let me go find my playlist here. I did a 10-episode playlist, 10-episode series with several people stopping in to be a part of it. to join me on these long streams where I walk everybody through the indoctrination. Here it is right here. Basically the walk down the indoctrination into the alien UFO rabbit hole, and how people fall into it, and how people get stuck into it, and how people stay in there, and how people how we've never really actually proven a damn thing in it, and how most of it's bullshit. And I think I did a good job kind of piecing this together over the course of a 10 stream episode. And I kind of closed it out with Drake Kent Bailey. I threw another one in there at the end. The original QAnon. Don't let that fool you, because Drake Kent Bailey was unveiled as, you know, he was the original QAnon. He said he had the plan. This is during the Ron Paul days, the Obama days. When Ron Paul, he was trying to co-opt Ron Paul people, and my group went after him and kind of shut him down. But he kind of shut himself down because he jumped into the alien rabbit hole as well, thinking the aliens were involved in the big plan with the militia and the military and the patriots, and we were gonna perp walk all these guys. You hear the term mass arrest, you hear the term trust the plan. Drake was the first one. Drake was the original. Good night, Ellie. Thank you so much for being here as always. But here it is. 10 episodes, takes you from beginning to end, takes you from ancient aliens through Disclosure Project, through and then I have that episode, the Winning Saturday Night interview with Pizer Pineapple. Pizer Pineapple. And we went through all this UFO, UAP stuff, and I pretty much debunked it. He was covering a lot of it. I think he's getting ready to cover this exact thing. I think I saw that out there. But he's very much believing in it, and I was pretty much showing him where all the holes in his argument were. And we had a good stream though. It wasn't hostile or nothing. It was very compatible. You know, it was very, we were on the same page, right? I wasn't after him. I was just showing him where I was coming from. You know, and he listened, and it was good. It was a good stream. Then we go through like Project Blue Beam, the Anunnaki, Nibiru 2012 myth, all that shit that's connected to it, the Galactic Federation of Light, David Icke and transdimensional reptiles, Indigo Star Children, the Gaia Network, where all these UFO grifts end up compiling. And then I topped it off with the Drake Kent Bailey one because of his connection to that, and he became a super soldier. He went on from being a militia guy, which he never actually was, to being a patriot, to being a lefty, new agey super soldier who can blow up planets with his mind. Isn't that amazing? This guy had millions. Yeah, he broke a Blog Talk Radio back in the day because he had so many people listening to him. This is how popular his rhetoric was. He's an old Vietnam vet, that's confirmed. And he just knows how to spin a yarn, man. Anyways, it's a great series. If you got something to do, it's a long one. You'll enjoy it. You'll learn some shit if you ever have never known how the UFO conspiratainment world works. I break it down because I want you to live in truth, and that's how I live. And we can't be distracted by these things. If the aliens are going to show up, they're going to show up. I don't really have a lot of faith. And I'm also willing to change my mind about UAPs if they ever show us one damn piece of real evidence. Not to say, well, I have a clearance and I can tell you for sure by my own words, and I'm not being, I'm not being prompted to say this, and I don't have blackmail over me or nothing, right? That these things are real. We don't know where they're coming from. Or it's a clever way to get your enemies to believe you do not know where they come from, but they're really yours. That's what I think is going on with that. Even J-Rod said everything was spiritual. Yeah, the spiritual war is good versus evil, right? Evil people will do mean and atrocious things that good people can't even imagine ever doing, like lying to people and bold-faced lying to the entire world about shit. They'll do it because they don't care. They don't have that care. And if you know that care is the wrapper that holds all of our stuff together, that's the real deal. Like, and I never did get to I haven't gotten to the natural law part of Unveiling Reality, open the Outer Veil series. One day I will, and things kind of slow down. The mission had to take precedent. The mission to get Trump elected had to take precedent over that. But when we do get to that, we'll learn that and within within the natural law and all the things that go on, care is the wrapper. It's like the eighth law. And if you don't care about shit, you're willing to do anything. You'll do harm to all. It's care holds it together for everybody. It's a big deal. So my uncle was head of aerial recon photography at the Pentagon for a bit. I wish he could tell us things he had seen. Yeah, I had a relative that flew in Korea, and he also was a United Airlines pilot his entire career from Korea to United Airlines. Never saw anything, his entire career. Military, nothing. We got military people in here, all kinds of military people in here actually. And they don't have anything to say about you. No one's seen anything, but these guys show up on Capitol Hill and all of a sudden they got stories, right? They got stories. And it's all convenient, man. It just happens to be when shit's going down, they don't want you looking in the other direction. I'm just follow patterns. I just follow the patterns, and the patterns always seem to be the same. So I'm not trying to put down anybody's beliefs or, anything like that. I believe that there is the possibility of life outside of the earth is very real. I just don't believe that it's been here yet. Coming through portals or coming through dimensions and shit like that. Sometimes my opinion is that just people use that as a way to make them, make the grifts work or to help their beliefs be real. I don't know. Would I like for aliens to be real and visit us and come here with technology? Yeah, I love it. Let's shake this place up. He said he indicates he has seen things but won't say more. It's always isn't that always the way it is? It's always the way it is. They wish he could tell us what. Okay, well now is the time. I'm all about it. Even the 9, the Watchers believe the Creator was everything. God was recognized even back then. Absolutely. Or I'm not at liberty to say, yeah, that too, right? It's always that. But let's see, because would it really be that big of a deal if we knew that people are visiting? Aliens are visiting our planet. This is the other thing too. All the people that put the shit out there, just they go this way, they go that way, they go up, they go down, they go around and around in circles. Like if you're an alien, would you waste your energy coming here to play aerial acrobatics and and show off and stuff? Would you skim along the water? Just to see if someone could catch you on the radar. Talk about some boring. The best we have a boring ass life if that's all they got to do is come here and troll us, right? Because they don't come here with any purpose, but that's when people have to create the purpose for it, right? They have to be like, oh no, they're trying to do this, or they won't do this because we're a nuclear power and all that stuff. But anyways, I'm open-minded and I'm okay with it. I'm okay with talking about it. I'm okay with looking into it, and I'm okay with if it's real. I'm perfectly fine with it, and I hope people come around. So it's not an attack on anybody's belief system just because I have mine. Don't take that the wrong way. But let me just say that I'm skeptical, and I'll stay that way until evidence is rolled out in front of our eyes. Or Elon Musk confirms it. And Elon said that if he saw it, if he saw it, he would be the first one to post it on X. So that's what Elon's my go-to guy. Unless they pull a goddamn alien or a ship out in the front of everybody and say, here it is. I'm ready to go. I'd believe me, I'd like for it to be that way. I would like it. Let's shake this place up, man. Let's have some fun. Bring on the aliens, man. Every time they bring it up, I'm like, come on, bring it on. Of course, there's also a lot of people out there that believe they're going to use an alien invasion as a false flag operation. That's right, as a false flag operation. In fact, people in the Disclosure Project will swear to it. It's all about the weaponization of space. It's all about that's their deal. Like I said, I've done a long deep dive on everybody involved and all their gimmicks and how they all connect together. And their whole thing is that then you have the Stephen Greer who runs the whole thing. He thinks he's talking to aliens in his head. He got busted setting up flares from a boat way offshore and ripping people off for thousands of dollars, saying it was a close encounter of the sixth kind. So these people keep getting busted too. keep getting busted doing the wrong things. Ancient aliens, that whole thing's a grift. The guy with the funny hair and the guy with the glasses, they came up with all of that shit. People have debunked ancient aliens up and down and up and down, up and down. Does that have anything to do with UAPs? No, but people will connect them. That's the whole alien UFO rabbit hole stuff. It's very interesting. I'm just like, if you guys get to know me, I'm very much against the abuse of people with information. So if someone's trying to abuse other people with information, I'm usually on their ass about it. I don't like it. It's the problem with the first fail. It's the reason why people don't have relationships with their old friends anymore. It's the reason why women are shaving their heads and people are getting murdered. It's the reason why a lot of bad shit's happening. So I'm just not for it. So any kind of grifts like that, I'm pretty much against. And I go through the trouble of debunking and deprogramming them and getting to the bottom of it and really asking the question with an open mind. That's why I'm able to do it. I'm not initially against anything. I go into it and say, okay, let's drill down to the root. Let's get the answers, and whatever it is. And guys, who are new here, the motto of this channel is, I'd rather know the truth than be right. Because when you know the truth, you don't need to be right. That's how it works, right? So we just go after the truth, and whatever shakes out, that's what it is. That's how it works. Big's coming up on Hannity, really? We still got a little bit of time. I usually run 3 hours. I'm kind of through the material tonight, but let me see. Okay, yeah. By the way, I said we'd show this party at Mar-a-Lago. This is okay, YouTube. This is not. This is a live performance of this New York song. Okay, we can get a little glimpse into the party life over there.
I'll make a brand new start of it. New York, New York.
There's Elon, I guess, right there. No, it's not. That's Elon. That's not Elon. That's some big tall dude. That's Trump. That's Trump right there, right? Okay. I think it's hard to tell, man. Why would he be sitting in the middle of the crowd? No. It's not his wife either, so no, it probably isn't Trump. It's Jack Posobiec. He's filming this. This guy is just getting all the gigs. He's getting all the gigs. Okay. I don't. Oh, there's Jack. It's windy there, huh? I'm probably get copyrighted for that guy singing. Where's the robot dog? All right, enough of that singing. Enough of the singing. I just want to see where everybody. I can't tell who's who in this damn thing. I can't tell it. I can't tell it. Nada. All right, there we have that. Okay, so what's going on here? We got yeah, good sign. Yeah, he's a pro. Shall he show up yet? All right. All right. So you said Vivek's gonna be at Hannity. Let me see what that's gonna be like here. I can do a quick sweep of oh wait, did I say I promised I'd go through my X account today. I was on the page too. I forgot it. We'll do that while I look for the next thing here. Yep, there's UFOs again. Okay. We did Ron Paul. Oh, this is anyone else tired of biology phobes? Anybody?
I think there are a lot of families out there who don't believe boys should play girls' sports.
They're not boys. I'm not going to listen to transphobia at this table.
I'm so tired of biology phobes.
I am not going to listen.
This guy's a biology phobe. I'm so tired of these guys.
Call a trans girl a boy.
Are you going to allow me to finish my explanation?
When you use a word to
Look at him asserting his privilege. Jesus.
slur, I'm going to interrupt. That's not how it is. They're not boys. They're not boys. They're not playing girls softball.
Oh my God. What an idiot. Melt down some more, please. Did I show this last night? No, this is the one I need to show right here. Okay, this is where we stopped. There's truth, freedom, and justice. Let's go. It's always good. Yep, winning. All right. Okay, so this is a documentary coming up we're going to be covering on Old School Watch Price Sundays as soon as I can figure out where it is and when to get it and if it's free or what I got to do to make it, to let us all watch it together. This has to do with making America healthy again. This is very exciting stuff. What gave you a headache? The guy crying about the biology phobe? The biology phobic guy? Yeah.
What I'm about to tell you is a matter of life and death. If the soil dies, we die.
The facts have been proven. Roundup does cause cancer.
If you burrow deeply enough, there is a pipeline of money from the pesticide industry into those universities. They're getting the kind of science that money can buy.
Nature is the mother of us all. And if mama ain't happy, we're
Oh, that's not copyrighted music.
But there's a way to save our precious soils.
Remember there's
It's
commentary
called
with this.
regeneration.
Commentary.
Regeneration is not just restoring the land to the state that we found it at, but actually making it better.
This is commentary.
We have added over 96 tons of carbon per acre into our soil. Can we mitigate climate change? Absolutely.
We're going to check the underwear
know
in the
about
regenerative versus the conventional soybean field and see if we can
I
tell
like
a
the idea of
difference
regenerative
between the
soils,
microbial
getting
activity.
the glyphosate out of it.
We've eliminated
That's
insecticides,
Teenage Wasteland. That's definitely
pesticides,
going to get copyrighted.
herbicides. We are saving upwards of $400
Who?
an acre.
No,
It
that
works
sound
out
way
to
too
be
well.
about $2 million a year in savings.
Yep. I mean, dude, check it out.
That is serious cash.
Pretty exciting.
I forgot my suit. I feel like I'm underdressed. But if you are the people who can make a change, well, it's high time to finally get regenerative agriculture. Let's prioritize the farmer.
All right. Out there in the field. I know they're going to hit me for that. They love it. I want to be able to keep this up.
Land, it's a connection to those that came before us and those that are going to come after us.
Yep. Sounds pretty exciting. Good little movie here.
There's hope.
There's hope. We got common ground to work on.
It's a warning, but it's also a promise. So I'm going to fight like hell to save your future, my children.
because I love you.
All right. Well, I mean, there's some people in there. I guess they got good hearts and commongroundfilm.org. We'll see what it's about, man. This was put out. This is Nikki Shanahan just dropped another viral sensation, was sent to me. I mean, regenerative soil is part of Make America Healthy Again agenda. I think we're going to hear more about that. And I think that's let's get the damn glyphosate out of the soil. We need to. There's old Mitch McConnell. Yeah, we know all about you, Mitch, you neocon bastard, you. Hey, Crown, what's up? Not sure about intentionally putting elastic in the fields. I think that was like one place where they were just seeing if it would eat the underwear or not. I have no idea what they're doing. Aerial spraying is common on larger fields. That stuff goes everywhere. Yep. They paid the Who for background music. I'm sold. Pay for results. That's how it works. Pay for results. Yes, the biophobe. Yeah, that gave me a headache too. So annoying. I'm surprised that I'm surprised the guy didn't push back, man. He should have pushed back. Look at that. I think they should have to wear their sponsors on their face like that. By the way, guys, Liberal Airline now taking reservations for flights out of America. All aboard. Look, this flight is packed. Let's go. Get them out of here. Get them out of here. I think we already saw that. Trump's already bringing prices down. You guys always saw that, right? Prices are already starting to fall under Trump. That's right. That's right. I feel like I've already shown this. Oh, yeah, I did. Okay, cool. Well, it's still funny. We'll be writing history. We'll be writing the history. History will not forget how stupid this period was. I won't. It's pretty sad too. But we'll be the ones writing the history because we're winning. We are winning. All right. There's the squirrel. We did that last night. Did we show this? Why are we spending money doing HIV research on transgender monkeys? This is something that Doge is going to be taking care of. Senator Rand Paul, who should be the House, should be gotten the job since the buffoon, aired his grievances with wasteful government spending in his 2023 Festivus report. Here's a look at the most egregious examples before we move on to the feats of strength. Nice. National Institutes of Health, $33.2 million to house feed and look after monkeys in South Carolina, who are then sent to labs for medical research. Yes, nothing like a big bill to watch monkeys. $6 million U.S. agencies for international development to promote tourism to Egypt. Wow, only $6 million, huh? It only takes $6 million $6 million to get people to want to go see the pyramids. Defense Department lobster tank, $8,395. That must have been a hell of a lobster tank. National Institute of Allergy and Infectious Diseases, $477,121 to study HIV in transgender monkeys. I didn't realize monkeys were transgender. Small Business Administration, $200 million in COVID relief to major music acts and their touring companies, including Post Malone, Chris Brown, Steve Aoki, and Smashing Pumpkins. Wow. It sounds like more that Democrat money laundering to celebrities, doesn't it? Craziness. If we farmed using a 7-year rotation cycle on our soil, would improve with Leviticus 25. All of them tracking on their promises to leave if Trump won. I know, it's just so full of shit. Why would anybody believe them anyways? Why would anybody believe those turkeys anyways? I don't know. I don't. Never would, never will. Sure won't. All right. Just real quick. What is going on over here? Open the hell. All right. Let me see here. I didn't find that Vivek. Let's see. I went to Vivek's page. Maybe I should look on X instead. I went to Vivek's page looking for it. I went to Hannity's page looking for it. I didn't see anything about Vivek going on with Hannity. Hopefully talk about the Department of Government Efficiency. I want to hear more about that. I can't get enough of that. Let's see. If you got a link, you can throw it out in the chat. I can probably pick it up. Oh wait, Hannity has his own webpage, doesn't he? Is that where all this stuff is now? Yeah, I've been there before. Let's see, Cabin Fever. All these great people. Did I leave anybody out? No. Let's see. Listen, podcast. I'm not sure where Hannity Live. I don't see anything on here about Vivek. I'm looking though. I'm looking. Pretty much all the stuff we've covered is on here. You still talking to Mike Johnson? Are you on live TV? That must be what it is. Let's see. The Harris T-shirt and caps need to be given to celebrities that say they will move as going away gift. Yes, indeed. 7-year rotation. Thank you for that. All right. RAHL posted something on X earlier about the 2020 U.S. paid $2.5 million or whatever for urine to be poured on drunk rats or something to that effect. What? What? God, come up with this something, anything. Just I'll get you the 2.5 million. Just make up something. Okay. Man, oh man. Well, I thought Chili was going to show up here. She showed signs of life for a second, and now she's gone. I'm not sure where she is. Don't know where she is. She must be feeling a little rough today. That's all right. We wish her well. We wish her well. She does so much for the channel. We wish her well. She's tough as they come. She'll be good. She'll be good in no time. Let me see. What else is going on X there? Let's see. Home. Man, I tell you.
Concerts that didn't win a single vote and ended up 20 million in debt. Tonight, we're finding out Kamala was lying to donors to keep the cash flowing.
So low on
Right. So you're developing a vaccine. What is it and how does it work?
so low on X. The people are absolutely nutcases. Cows do not fart and leave our meat alone. Just another way to make the MNRA into us. Get their way into us. Okay. Oh wait, I did have something else I can look at here. Where's it at? That's right. I did have another segment here. What did I just click off of it? Here we go. All right, immigration, border crisis. We didn't talk about that at all. Yeah, Blue Skies from Star Trek movie. Awesome. I'll relook that tweet again and send it to you later. Some leftist study, I can only assume. Okay, cool. The yeah, here I got a couple of things here on the border crisis. And what is that? 8 hours ago? Okay, I don't know how that came up. Somehow that popped up on my screen. I was like, I didn't do that. I didn't do it. Right here is where I was going. My old border crisis. All right, so go back one. Update. Okay, here we go. This is the short.
Trump is not even president yet, and already Hamas is calling for an end of the war. And in New York, they're already starting to deport illegal immigrants. Now, I'm assuming the reality is they've always been to some degree, but largely no. So I want to say before we get started, maybe the video I'm going to show you is just sometimes they do actually deport. But considering you had these gang members, I don't know, firing guns in Times Square, I'm going to go ahead and say it's probably true. With Trump getting elected, cops, ICE agents, they're basically just like, you ain't stopping us now. We're going to start doing our jobs. Out where we's at. We have some of the people who work here apparently have been saying, and I'm saying this because I don't know if it's confirmed, that a local chain of IHOPs were raided by ICE, and they started arresting, detaining illegal immigrants and deporting them. Enforcement has begun. The game has changed. People are now saying, Trump is in. We have the mandate. We're putting an end to this. I'm going to show you a video first. But we got this article from the Post-Millennial. Eric Adams says the voters communicated loudly and clearly on immigration and wants the immigration system fixed. Take a look at this video. Donald Trump hasn't even taken office yet, and it's starting. NYPD removing illegal immigrants off the streets. Many New Yorkers have been making videos saying their streets are also being cleared of illegals. Here's a video. NYPD officers taking out illegal homeless from the street.
What happened, bro? What happened?
Can you report from over there just so he doesn't get...
Thank you so much, sir.
He's saying, what's happening? NYPD, they got a guy, they're detaining him. They're saying he's an illegal immigrant. We don't know for sure. We don't know for sure. All right, that's important. I don't know exactly if this guy's going to get deported. NYPD doesn't do deportations. Maybe they'll pass him off to ICE. But this is the narrative that's emerging. It may just be wishful thinking, my friends. But, you know, we talked to Myron Gaines the other day, and he was a Fed. He was saying it's clear, dude. It is clear that under Donald Trump, you could do your job. You could get these people out. You'd arrest the criminals. You'd arrest the illegal immigrants who committed crimes entering the country. You get them deported. Under Biden, they're getting work permits, free passes. And you want to know what's really freaking me out?
Money.
I had to call my bank, okay, and just do normal stuff. They didn't ask for my social security number. They asked for my tax identification number. That's the game, dude. TINs, they're called. Your social security number is technically a TIN, but that's basically for businesses and non-citizens. This is the game they've been playing. If you're not a citizen and you come here, they give you a tax identification number because you got to pay your taxes, right? Now, all of a sudden, when I call my bank, they say, please provide your TIN. Why don't what? Oh, it's because there are people in this country who are not citizens who don't have a social security number, but can have bank accounts. Yep, they are eroding the structures of this country to allow people who are not citizens to function and operate as if they were. That breaks the law, and it's time to get it dealt with. That means if you're not a citizen, there are certain things you are not entitled to. Our money, our infrastructure, that's not how it goes.
Daisy.
Post Money reports. New York Mayor Eric Adams took questions from reporters on Tuesday and indicated that he could be on board with the incoming Trump administration's border control and mass deportation plans, even in the sanctuary city of Big Apple. The voters communicated loudly and clearly. We have a broken immigration system that needs to be fixed. Adams had previously said that the city would remain a sanctuary city, which would indicate that they would not comply with federal agents in removing illegal immigrants. Will you express concern about mass deportations in the city? He was asked. New York has essentially become a border city as illegal immigrants, refugees, and asylum seekers have flooded the city. Some 10,000 people were coming in last week. Let's roll flip.
And as you communicate with President-elect Trump and have communicated with him, will you express concern about mass deportations in the city?
My concern is one concern, and we keep tinkering around the edges. We keep having this philosophical conversation about it. The voters communicated loudly and clearly. We have a broken immigration system. It needs to be fixed. That's the only conversation I want. It's broken. It needs to be fixed.
Broken immigration and asylum. I think people forget about the asylum part. Asylum does not equal immigration, does it? That's the whole thing. It's been fused together.
And New York City,
people who seek asylum are supposed to go home when the conflicts are over, when things get better. That's at least my understanding of it. They turned that into immigration.
He was devastated by that broken system. 220,000 migrants and asylum seekers have made their way here. No financial.
220,000 have made their way to New York City. That's crazy.
Assistance from the administration, I think, was about $200 and something million with billions of dollars we had to pay for. I don't want to see that happen again. I don't want what's taking place in Chicago and Denver, Los Angeles, Houston. I don't want to see it take place again. Let's fix our immigration system. Anything other than that, I'm not interested in that conversation. We have a broken system. I talked about this in 2022. Just as I talked about violence in 2021, and voters made this the top of their list. The top of their list. When I was talking about
saying top of their list, first is economy, second was immigration.
Everyone was just being dismissive of me, and voters said, this is a problem. And if we don't have a conversation about fixing the system, everything else is just being philosophical and theoretical, and I'm just not going to engage in that. Let's fix the system.
To be clear, sir, are you saying leave people here alone, focus on the system, or are you not even engaging on what might happen in the city and just focus on the system fix? I understand.
Well, part of it is we need to either pick up the cost. Cities should not be dealing with a national problem. We need to pick up the course. And there are those here, I've said this more than once, there are those here who are repeated offenders. We need to address that. You don't come to our city and our country and commit violence acts on innocent people.
This guy is basically going full MAGA. And, he got raided by the feds under the Biden administration. And a lot of people were saying that he's playing nice with Donald Trump because he's hoping Trump will make that all go away. Maybe it's political. You know, apparently people were saying that Eric Adams only got raided in New York. He's the mayor. I'm assuming everyone knew that. He only got raided because he was not playing ball with the Biden immigration plan. And when he said, no, we're not doing this, people are losing their minds, and I'm going to take responsibility for it, he gets investigated, he gets raided. I'll tell you what's really fishy is that there were people that just got hired. They're like not even longstanding politicians in New York, and they got raided by the feds too. So it looked like lawfare. This guy was not going to play ball with the deep state, so they said, we'll destroy you. And then someone else will become the mayor. He starts ponying to Donald Trump. Looks like he's hoping that Trump clears the path for him. Adams has been outspoken against the administration for their border failures and has repeatedly called for more aid to deal with the huge influx. The city conducted a pilot program to give illegal immigrant families staying in shelters debit cards with up to $350 per week. But once the pilot program ends, it will not be renewed or adopted. And so I'm going to say this too. Everybody was claiming that this guy was anti-immigration. Yo, he had a resettlement program. He was giving thousands of dollars to non-citizens so they could permanently settle in New York City. He had food voucher programs. Nah, I don't know that I believe that he was just not playing ball with Biden. Maybe he wasn't playing ball as hard, hard enough, but it's not like he was, anti-immigration. He was helping these people. Adams brought up his previous rebuke of the Biden-Harris administration for their border failure, saying that he talked at the beginning of 2021 and 22 and afterward. He was later part of a group of mayors who sought an audience with President Biden to discuss these huge problems. Excuse me. But on his way to D.C., he was forced to turn around after the home of one of his officials was raided by the FBI over allegations of illegal foreign donation. And we say BS, dude. It was like $100,000 in combined gifts or something. BS. As the border problems, because you can look at Hunter Biden, and they did not care about his foreign business dealings. As the border problems deepened under Biden, some red state governors, such as Greg Abbott, began busing illegal immigrants to New York. Indeed. The reporter asked further about his thoughts on how to deal with the reality of the city, not just the federal problem. To that, Adams replied, the city should not be dealing with a national problem.
Yeah.
There are those who are
York City's
defenders.
in bad shape, guys.
We need to address that. You don't come to our city, our country, and commit violent acts on
Cover that
innocent
too.
people. How about this one? How about Tren de Aragua taking over apartment complexes in several different cities right now? I'm going to need our liberal friends to comment and explain this to me. But you know what I see? I see these liberals writing. It's just fake. I see these news outlets. I read the news every day. These liberals are writing everything Trump claimed about immigration, prices. It's all fake. It's not true. Don't believe him. They don't offer any evidence. They just say it was debunked. And then you say, okay, how? And they go, we debunked it. I understand you're saying that, but what did you do? Did you investigate? No, you did nothing. That's right. Whenever it comes to these big stories, Trump will say something like, here's one of my favorites, that FEMA was skipping over Republican areas after Hurricane Helene. And then when Trump made that up, debunked, and you say, okay, how do you know that? Did you investigate? I understand you can ask Trump for evidence. You can say Trump hasn't provided evidence. Fine. How'd you debunk it? They go, because we did. That's it. We did. We said it's debunked, so it is. Turns out a FEMA employee said it was widespread that they were being instructed to skip over houses with Trump signs on them. How about them apples? It's a different circumstance. That was Hurricane Milton, not Hurricane Helene. But the fired employee said, no, they were doing it across the board. So it likely was affecting those areas as well. So is it rebunked? Yeah, they're lying. What I can say now, Donald Trump's not even in, and the action is starting to happen. So let's go. Smash that like button, share the show with everyone you know.
Please
Become a member.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it. Check it out. All right, look at this. I just saw this. This will be our last little bit, and we'll get on out of here. Yes. The Department of Government Efficiency has launched their very own, and can you believe it? Can you believe it? They've launched their very own X page. All right, yes, X page. All right, here we go. Department of Government Efficiency. I've already followed and rang the bell for notifications. I'm within the first 750,000 to do so. So just letting you know, I'm way up on there. And oh, look at this. The dynamic duo They're bringing the sinks to the IRS, the kitchen sinks. We're going to get the government off your back.
We're going to get the government off your back and out of your pocketbook. And America's just not just going to be great. America is going to reach heights that it has never seen before. The future is going to be amazing.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Amazing future. Awesome news about that department and those people that are going to be running it. And a great positive note to go out on. All you guys are so awesome for being here. I probably will do a very low talk, long listen, sit around and chat in the chat kind of stream to reshow the AAP stuff, jumping in only when necessary tomorrow during the day, just because I'm not going to be able to do anything tomorrow night. Of course, that's why I did Winning 2024 tonight instead of tomorrow night. We all know this. Friday night, got to meet up for the Tyson Jake Paul fight. We're going to start here and on X and Rumble. Make sure you get your Rumble accounts ready, and then we'll hop off of YouTube to avoid any issues, because they're very harsh over there. It's either worse if you're bad on Rumble, they'll just take your stream down and they won't tell you why. And you don't get a strike or anything like that. Plus, they get like 8 strikes over there anyways. I've had 2 streams taken down or 3 videos taken down, and they're just like, sorry, they're like, sorry. They don't give me a reason, and they don't punish me for it. So we're going to try to show it. So if you don't have the ability to watch it, you can watch it with us. If you want to watch, if you're a good old Gen Xer like me and you're like Mike Tyson from back in the day, you want to see him beat up on a young whippersnapper, see what kind of awesome shape he's in, see him regen himself. I'd love to see Mike Tyson back to his old form again. Let's hope it's a great fight. We'll have some fun on Friday night. Saturday night, 9 p.m. Eastern, Winning Saturday night. That's our laid back show of the week. We do the good news of the week. We do the cool things segment. We do funny videos, and we do some music stuff. I gotta put some stuff together for that. But however, it's shaping up to be a great show. Hope you'll join us. Of course, we're gonna have the new intro, so make sure you get there right at 9 o'clock so you can catch the new intro. You definitely want to catch it. It's pretty cool. Something I've been working on. I think you really enjoy it. But yes, thank you guys so much for coming out tonight. I really appreciate each and every one of you. Any final thoughts from the crowd here? Yeah, anyone pays attention is when the problem is in their backyard. The only time anyone pays attention. Yeah. Then there's us. And then there's us. They want to be a sanctuary cities. They can have all of them. Have them all. But then we're going to take them away. Well, from no, please no, because the residents that voted those mayors in will move to Austin where I live. Yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, consequences of actions. I surely hope so. However, I'm still in the mindset that of see something, say something, wait and see. Yep. We have enough in Cali, New York, Chi-town, etc. They have that have moved here already. Yeah, well, that's what happens is after their stays are up in these sanctuary cities, they get a ticket to anywhere. Fully paid ticket to anywhere where you want to go. And unfortunately, they don't learn a thing. They bring the politics with them. And that's the transplants as well. Yep. Anyways, you guys know where I'll be and when I'll be there. Look for my pop-up stream tomorrow at some point. If for some reason I don't do it, I just didn't do it. But we'll look at these see what these UFO guys are trying to distract us from. See, we got all of our work done tonight. We know what's to look out for. More of that as it comes up. We'll keep an eye on it. We'll be loud about it. We'll post stuff on X about it. And we won't let them get away with any BS. Thank you guys so much for coming here this evening. I'll see you very soon. Until that time, everybody stay based. Have a lot of fun. All right. And keep your eyes, stay vigilant. Keep your eyes open, stay vigilant, and keep on winning.
If you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands. If you've lost faith in humanity, and this is your villain origin story, if you've lost faith in humanity, clap your hands.
This is a friendship battle.